ship was afraid of the American side, coming back from some mill in Wisconsin. Big freighter's dog, it was better than most, with the crew and good captain well seasoned. The dawn came late and the breakfast had to wait. The waves broke over the railing. Every man knew as the captain did know, which of November comes the sun.
Simon Bar Sinister.
I dig it.
You ever hear them before?
Dude, I mean, not till you played it, man. But I dig the flavor. You know I like that song, man. I spun it up this week, man, down here in Florida, man.
Did you?
Yeah, man. I said it's like the theme song that, you know, you went down on that ship. It's a good thing you came back because we wouldn't have this broadcast today without you.
No. What's up, man? You're down in Florida. You missed last week's show.
How was it?
Good. It was the Patreon secret bait show. Very good.
I heard you tore it up, gave the viewers what they wanted.
But we missed you.
Man, you know, I miss being on it, but I had to go down to Florida, man. It's started out at the Harris chain with my buddy Billy Kramer, man. It was cold and rainy like 2 out of 3 days, but we caught him. Tangled with some good ones. It was good to get back down to the Harris chain, man. I hadn't been down there since I was down there with Jack Rankers in the national, what was it, Bass Nation Team Championship. I fished Griffin, which was a new body of water for me. Then we went to Rodman Reservoir and got dumped on. Oh my gosh.
A lot of wood there, hey?
Dude, that's crazy. Flooded forest.
I went.
Go ahead.
I was there when the water was super low. And all you could see is rusty old Texas rigs hanging from the wood.
we started to make our way out there to go, you know, let's go sea rig that wood, man. It literally was blowing 25 miles an hour, man. And I'm like, we're not doing that. No.
Yeah.
But it was still a fun trip. It was really cool, man.
You see any alligators?
Yeah, I saw like 8 today.
Mm.
Yep. Saw a big one, man. Big one.
That's my highlight when I go to Florida. Armadillos and alligator spottings.
I haven't seen any armadillos yet. Gators, we had a close encounter with a Florida water moccasin, a.k.a. the cottonmouth. And it kind of, Brent can tell you, he used to work in a snake, a zoo, but he took care of the snakes and the venomous ones. Yeah. And so, man,
how do you take care of it?
You feed them and you care for the snakes. He did it for 6 years, man. He knows like the technical name for every snake out there. And he did a post. If you guys want to see the water moccasin and how close that thing got, it was in the jack plate, basically. Yeah. I'm like, don't bring it in the boat. Please don't bring it in the boat, man. I stayed all the way up out of trolling motor, 21 feet away.
I'm glad you're catching some bass. Yeah,
man. It's been great. And, you know, the best part about it is experimenting with all the different baits, man. The prototypes, the June Bug 1.5, the Marty Burns Big Flat Side.
What, you know what I'd be throwing? Man? I'd be throwing the chatterbait.
Dude, we crushed him on the chatterbait. We found a bar today that it was on a point, like a little corner, coming out of a channel swing bank. It was only about 1.5 feet of water. And just went to mashing them like slow rolling chatterbaits through there, popping it through right on the edge of the lily pads, just torched them. And then Brent showed me a trick. I mean, you had to crawl it to get a bite. Then we wormed it and loaded the boat again, and then came back and burnt the chatterbait through there literally as fast as you could reel it and kill it. And they responded every way. It was incredible. We had 4 runs through there, maybe 50 fish, 50, 60 fish on this one corner. in about an hour and a half. I've never experienced anything like it.
Dang.
I mean, it's a full moon, and they were up to 5 pounds on that corner. So that was a lot of fun. No real big fish, but still, I mean, I've never experienced anything like that. We're like 95% to the full moon, I think, and this wave of fish has just moved up. It's very cool.
Wish I could be there, sipping sweet tea.
You know,
where you at, man?
Would you like to come down next year, man? Do you think me, you, and Brian the Carpenter could do a journey down here?
Maybe.
I mean, you've got the headwaters, you've got Lake Okeechobee, you've got Kenansville, which is Jurassic Park, and then and I caught a beautiful fish on a big Japanese bait. I want to show everybody. It's a crawler bait. Yeah. So I've been experimenting, man. It's been really nice to not have to have the pressure of a tournament, you know?
Yeah.
And just throw whatever I want.
Yeah. No, I agree, dude. I'm in. We're going to work something out. Listen, we have a big show tonight. We have a lot of guests. We got a couple special announcements. I don't even know where to start. Let's start with, first of all, I do want to thank everybody. We had over 100 plus Patreon subscribers who watched last week's show. I gave up the goods, one of my secret baits. If you're interested, you can still sign up and watch the past show. Otherwise, March 29th is our next show. We're talking about lipless crankbaits, some secrets when it comes to lipless crankbaits. Bunch of awesome guests tonight. We're going to start the show off with a gentleman named Brooks from Cortland Line. The Power Pole boys.
Nice.
Or boy.
I'm
Branden.
excited about Cortland in particular because American-made Cortland, New York.
Yeah, dude, it's a crazy story. We're going to get into it all.
Dude, fine.
Let me get through my list.
Yeah.
Don't get ahead of yourself.
Not only because I was a fly fisherman and used Cortland line, man, so I'm getting back to my roots. I like it.
Okay. Next week's show, Nico Bates will join us. I'm sorry, you guys are going to spend a shit ton of money next week with us. They have some really cool baits, dude.
Oh,
yeah.
I got them in my truck. I got some ones you don't even know about, maybe.
I'm sure.
Possible.
I'm looking forward to this one.
Got some colors. You might go, what?
I'm sure, dude. We got some crazy stories when it comes to Nico.
That's true.
We do. And then, of course, after Power Pole this evening, and listen, I know Branden for sure is going to be on. Branden's been a buddy of mine since, I don't know, 2008. Crazy. I mean, he's been with the company so long. We're going to talk about what's going on with Power Pole. They got some exciting things out there. And then we're going to share some stories from the road, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Stories from the road. I know what you did last summer.
Eric. I love saying that. You know I love saying that, right? Hold on, I want to adjust my camera, man. I'm going to try to lift it up.
Take your time.
Hot plate. There we go.
Anyone who's wondering, where's Epic Eric's Bass Lab? Well.
What do you mean?
He's at some hotel, but I got the sticker.
Yeah.
I like the post that you sent me, too, the little note.
Did you?
Yeah.
Nice, man. None of that wouldn't happen if it wasn't for you, Travis.
True.
You spawned it, man.
I did
it's
spawn it. And then we're going to talk to Brent Anderson. Hopefully he's not sleeping by the time we get around to him.
I know, man.
We'll talk a little bit about your Florida adventures. And then, guys, are you ready for this? Round 2, pre-orders.
Yes.
Of the Epic June Bug Square Bill.
Yes.
We sold out in under 8 minutes last week or 2 weeks ago.
Yep.
We apologize. We weren't prepared for the response.
Dude, and the June Bug is getting choked down here. The 1.5 and the Pogo Shad.
Oh, man.
Listen, if I'm throwing a plastic worm down here, the only color that I've thrown this week, the only color has been June Bug or June Bug Red. And they're mashing it. I threw my shaky jig worm with a robo worm and caught a jaint on it, dude. I had a black and blue, my bruiser color, and my I tied up a special purple one. And man, they responded to it. I was cranking them on the shell bar and jamming them. They shut down, toss that little shaky jig worm out there, man. And Brent was like, "What is that thing?" And I'm like, "Just watch." And it happened. It was on.
Damn.
It's crazy.
I'm watching the comments again. Mike Powers, what's up? Jamie Newton, John
Tom
Mango,
Meade,
Wild Bill,
John Mango, David
Brown,
Terry
Tom,
Powers,
12-pound Tom Nee in the house.
Ray Concepcion, man, Brendan Andrews, John Henning, Sean Lai.
They're all here.
Everybody, Jeff.
Anyways,
513 Plum and Steve Hardy, Darius King, Yak and SoCal Bass.
you know what? I'm in chill mode tonight. I got the feet up on the desk here.
I'm in definite chill mode, man. I'm in Florida. I haven't even had dinner. I might have a steak with the crew
probably
tonight.
Should.
I'm
I
trying.
would.
Those guys are at dinner right now. I hustled back. I drove Nate's truck. He's one of the guides down here, and I gave him they've been eating the BDS4 too. I got a little bait show later on tonight. You're gonna freak at some of the size baits I've been catching fish on. This one in particular, or two in particular, the strikes have been so violent. You would think if I missed the fish and didn't land them, you would have swore it was a 10-pounder.
Dang. All right, we're going to get into all that. We got to talk about the Real Shot tackle tip of the week.
TRS, baby.
That we do. All right, let's get excited for this one, guys. The Real Shot tackle tip of the week. We're talking about the General, the Berkley Power Bait and Max Scent General. I didn't know nothing about this bait, Eric, up until about a month ago when I went to the Real Shot.
Right.
And we had some discussions.
We did.
And you convinced me I need to take a serious look at these. So guess what, dude? Let me get closer.
I saw some of the craziness, man, in your story.
I know, but I also just rigged these up in the aquarium here tonight.
Oh,
gave it a test. I tested a bunch of stick baits, of course, the 5-inch Senko as well.
Mm-hmm.
First of all, who doesn't love the smell of power bait, dude?
I love the smell of power bait in the morning. Hey, listen, smells like victory. What's that?
You know
from?
what? I don't know. I don't watch sports. I don't know.
No, it's not a sports. It's Apocalypse Now.
Never heard of it.
Dun, 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 dun. Dude, everybody knows it out there. Sound off if you know what I was just quoting. Anyway, I love the smell of power bait in the morning. It smells like victory.
Okay.
Victory.
Okay. Anyways, the General, it's coming in at 5.25. It's actually very close to the size of the Senko, the 5-inch Senko.
Yep.
Okay. What I like about it is, guess what? The fall rate, slightly slower, but not much. Slightly. It's not like overpowering. It's not. There's the boys in the background.
There's the boys in the background. What's up, guys? There's BA. Nate. What's up, Nate? Come say hi to the stream real quick, man. Come on, just say hi. Just say hi.
Yeah, pop in, guys. Say hi.
Say hi. There's Brent Anderson, the famous Brent Anderson. He's also a snake wrangler, everybody. And Nate, come on, say hi, Nate.
What's up, Nate?
He's only like 5'4". So listen, if you follow him on Instagram, Nate, what's your Instagram?
Nathan.adams.fishing.
Okay, so if you follow him and he holds up a fish, it could be 7, 8, or 9 pounds, and it'll look like 4, 5, or 6. Don't hold it against him.
Okay. Well, we'll be talking to those guys shortly.
Absolutely.
But back to the General. I loaded up when I went to the Real Shot. I literally have a bunch of bags. Skeets Green Money is a color I'm really interested in.
Yep.
It's like a watermelon, green fleck, and purple back.
Dude, I love it.
I'm going to be chucking this on the Chesapeake Bay quite a bit this year. I fish these a lot. Pretty much, well, Senko stick baits. I'm really excited because of the scent. I love power bait. I really do.
Power bait accounted for my PB tournament fish, 796 blue fleck, baby, 7-inch power worm, iconic.
Yes. So what I like to do is I like to rig this up wacky style, or I like to nose hook it with a 4-rod extra wide gap Gamakatsu.
Sure.
And
Or
then
you
I
can
put a
Nico.
small little finishing nail
Yep.
in the tail.
Yep.
You can use, I mean, any nail you find at a hardware store would work. If you
Sure.
want to get sneaky, all you got to do is get a little tungsten nail weight. They're expensive. You put it in. You know where I'm going with this, Eric.
Absolutely.
You put it in the tip, and you just have it hanging out ever so slightly. And every time that ticks the bottom, especially hard bottom, shell beds, things like that,
Yeah.
gives off a really unique sound that's different than any other. I don't think you can make a stick bait. I mean, you
Kick.
can't put really rattles or anything in it. I mean, it'd be hard.
You could, but it'd be tough.
Yeah, I'd like to see you do that, Eric.
All right. So listen, who out there knows what the name the General? Who is the General? He's a professional bass fisherman. Okay.
Somebody in the comments, let us know.
Let us know. And then how did he get the nickname the General? If you can answer both those questions,
I think we have a gift pack.
Bass fishing fool.
Mm.
So let's see. Nixon. Okay, so we already got the answer. Larry Nixon. But who knows how he got it? I'll tell you the story. Because I met Larry Nixon and fished with him for a half day on bull shoals. And that was one of the most special 6 hours of my life because he was.
You were Ned rigging.
Hero. Yeah, man. Larry Nixon fished with him on bull shoals and we threw the Ned rig, by the way. A Super Spook Junior, a buzz bait, and that was all we needed to whack fest them. All right, so Larry Nixon's in a tournament, and he's leading. And it's the final day. And he's rolling down the lake with a camera guy. And he's headed to a place where he knows he can get 5. He stops the boat. And he says, the cameraman goes, "Why'd you stop the boat?" And he goes, "I'm not going to win trying to go catch 5. I got to go catch big fish to like seal the deal here." And the cameraman looked at him and said, "That's amazing. Only a general would do that." And that's how he got the nickname the General.
Nice.
Pretty cool, right?
I think Bill Gibson
There it
mentioned
is, man.
it there in the comments. He made a split-second decision to turn around and go back for sure.
That's right.
All right, listen, we got to stay on track because we have a jam-packed. I overbooked this show. Okay, I apologize, guys. We're going to go late into the night, I'm sure. But that's okay because we got a lot of cool things to cover. I'm just reading the comments again. I always get caught up in the comments. Anyways, if you want to buy some of these, head on over to Real Shot. Use my code SmallmouthCrush. Get 15% off your first order. What a deal. And I appreciate the support, obviously. I think it was pretty epic last week when we talked about the secret bait. Pretty much sold out instantly that evening. So that was pretty cool.
That's awesome.
We
That's
appreciate
awesome. Hey,
that.
Brendan Andrews knew what the story. Brendan Andrews, you're a bass fishing fool.
That he is. Okay, moving along. I see him lurking down below. Brooks has joined us here. Oh, my butt. Never mind. We'll get to that. Another comment coming in. We're going to talk about Cortland Braid. And just like that, there he is. Brooks, what's up?
Travis, thanks for having me on.
Yeah, dude, this is awesome. Let me switch the screens around here a little bit.
Okay.
No, I don't like that look. I'm stuck in the
You're stuck in the smallmouth crush swash.
Yeah, I know, dude. That's all right.
Good. Keep moving.
Right.
That's all good.
It looks like hair.
It's fine.
My slightly balding head screwing everything up.
Dang. So, dude, upstate New York, man, one of my favorite places in the world. And you're living and breathing. Are you originally from there?
You know, it's funny you asked that. I saw your quick video yesterday, and I think you had mentioned Brooks from Cortland, and then you're like, "What? Not from Cortland, but yeah, actually, I was born in Cortland, New York.
Ah,
so I'm a hometown boy working for a hometown brand.
Yeah,
and, wouldn't have it any other way.
Man, that's awesome.
So I got to give props to I got to share how this whole relationship started because it's really interesting. Everyone knows forever I've been searching for the perfect braid. And I've used a lot of different brands. And my buddy Russell reached out to me on Instagram, man, 2-3 months ago. Said, dude, you got to check out Cortland Braid. I'll be straight up with you, dude. I had no idea you even existed. Okay. Like I didn't even know. I mean, I'm sure I've seen it. You know how you're either dialed in on stuff or you're not.
Sure.
That was the case. I'm like, okay, I'm like, dang, upstate New York. I'm going through it. All of a sudden I see thin diameter braid. And then he was just like, if you don't, he's like, dude, it'll blow your mind. It's just as good as Power Pro. And I know you love Power Pro, Travis. You got to try it. So I ordered some spools that day. I got them quick, put them to work. And I'm like, dang, this is legit. So we're going to be learning all about your braid throughout the season. You know, I'm crazy braid guy. A lot of most of my spinning rods are all braid to a fluorocarbon leader. And then of course, some heavy bait casting applications, things like that. And so super excited. You know, your high vis yellow is bright. You got to wear sunglasses looking at that spool of line. You know what I mean? I love it. I love that it's not faded already. And, you know, based on what I'm hearing, the stuff holds up. So super, super excited. Brooks, let's talk about Cortland because I haven't heard about them. And, you know, you've been around since what, 1915?
Yes, sir. 1915.
It's crazy.
A long time.
That is like, were you always, I mean, was it braid from the start or Eric's
yeah,
like, no.
it was, you know, a sporting goods company to start and, you know, built braid, you know, obviously years ago, almost over 100 years ago. And, like we talked about the other day, those braiders during World War II, switched over to a complete wartime effort,
Wow.
you know, in the 40s instead of, you know, braided fishing line, you know, the original Dacron and whatnot. We
The old
started braiding.
Dacron backing.
Yeah, Dacron, backing, green spot, you name it, you know, for trolling, tuna fishing, whatnot. We switched completely over to braiding bootlaces, candle wicks, bomb cord, parachute rope, you name it. You know, as did a lot of companies that were around, you know, during that time. And then after that was over, you know, switched right back, you know, to the fishing aspect of the braid. So,
Man. Well, listen, Brooks, the comments are flying in.
They are.
There's a lot of people that
keep up.
that know it's the smoothest, most fluid braid ever used. Tim, who else do we have? Mike Powers. I've been using Master Braid for a couple years. Good stuff. Daniel wants to know, they have a good braid for slinging hair jigs. Yes. 5 or 8 pound Master Braid in black. Okay. Because here's my theory on that. I don't want a high vis on a horizontal presentation, reaction bait, especially if I'm only using an 8 or 10 foot leader. I would rather have kind of a, you know, a black or a darker color coming through that water than bright yellow. But for any other application, definitely bright yellow. Spy baits, hair jigs. Probably if you're going to throw a jerk bait on a spinning rod, you want to use braid. That's when I would go straight black. But for everything else, definitely the high vis. Sorry, I just wanted to throw that out there because I'm surprised. A lot of our viewers have heard of it and use it. A lot of guys from the fly tying, fly anglers, I see.
You can do it right here with me.
Wow, interesting.
Oh.
All right, Brooks. So, you know, the history's great, American made. You guys do everything as far as the braid in-house, which is huge. You know, I've seen some videos online after doing some research on the company. Awesome facility. You guys are braid making machines over there. What's your role as far as at Cortland?
So I started about maybe April 1st because I mark it as the opening day of trout season up here.
Nice.
Originally working in the fly line department, mixing fly line. truly in the back manufacturing. I've been there for 9 years, obviously, worked my way up through sales and whatnot. So I'm a part of our product development team. I'm the Mid-Atlantic and New England sales rep for Cortland. I work a lot with our ambassadors, do a lot of the trade shows. I wear a lot of hats at Cortland. Most important to me, obviously, is the product development side, and more importantly, even the sales stuff in the Northeast. So, I'll ship a product, I'll pick up a phone, I'll clean a toilet, you name it. I'll get it done at Cortland.
That's awesome.
Dang. So walk us through, if you could, real quickly, your main bread and butter when it comes to braid, and if people are interested in getting some braid and trying it out, if they haven't used it, where would you recommend someone start?
Most importantly, Cortland sells, first of all, we have a great dealer base around the country in the Northeast. We also sell right on CortlandLine.com. We sell through Tackle Direct and a bunch of others, great national accounts. Master Braid, we have such a wide range of colors. I think we offer maybe 5 or 6 different colors, white, yellow, blue, moss green, black. We offer a bronze colored Master Braid, which is very unique to Cortland. As far as I know, it's one of the only colors like it on the market. And we offer 5-pound all the way up through 200-pound tests. So,
wow.
Whatever you're into, whatever technique, application that you're going to apply braid to, we probably offer it. So it's a great, offering overall, and there's plenty of places to go out and find it.
Now, Brooks, I flipped a lot today, and I was using Power Pro 65-pound braid and caught one of the biggest bass of my life on it. You have a specialized flipping line, right? That's a little more silent than the others, correct?
Yes, sir.
Tell us about that and how you formulated that line and what I can expect when I switch over.
So the silent flip is exactly that. It's silent. I'm sure as most everyone that's on here tonight, braid makes a noise when it's in the guides, especially under tension.
100%.
The silent flip is actually a 16 carrier braid. So I'm sure a lot of guys out there are familiar with brands that, whether it's a 4 carrier or an 8 carrier, this is a 16 carrier braid, and it's actually built in a hollow form. Almost all braids that guys probably are watching tonight are used to as a solid braid, and that's what our Master Braid is a solid braid. The silent flip is a hollow core braid. And what that allows it to do is almost lay flat, both on structure, whether it's logs or dock, but more importantly in the guides. And it creates less friction, less noise. So, the most important thing we find is when guys are flipping, especially pressured waters, whether you're a weekend angler or a tournament angler, and you're going over water that's already been beat to death, when you can add that silent approach, we find that that's definitely a technique that others aren't, that other people just don't have, other brands don't have, and we know it works, and it's an absolute unique item. So for guys that are out there flipping, you definitely want to check this out, and it's offered in 50 and 65-pound tests in both black and a moss green.
So a question for you since it's hollow, if I used it for frogging, is there any float capability to it?
Yeah, absolutely.
Wow.
Our braid, naturally floats, right? The process we use, it's called fiber technology. It gives it definitely a buoyancy level. We find that hollow aspect of the silent flip, it tends to almost trap a pocket of air in there.
Yeah.
That's not what it's marketed for, but
sure.
Frogging, perfect. So, if you find yourself flipping and you need that same pound test, that same color, and you're going to switch over frogging, quick flip out, and now you braid that's floating and doing what it needs to do.
Yeah. I mean, I brought my basically flipping punching rod is the same as my frogging rod down here. So it'd be nice to have a braid that you could have that application for it. So,
exactly.
Yeah. Fascinating. Wow. Awesome. You back, Travis?
Yes, I'm sorry. I just had to grab something here.
What do you got?
Well, I was looking for it, but I got two here. So the silent flip, I got into 50 and the 65, and my plan is for the heavier, tungsten 1 ounce or bigger, it's going to go on that 65. I do a lot of flipping, smaller weights, 3/8, half ounce. That's why I went with the 50. But then I also got their master braid, of course, in the small diameter. Okay, 5 pound for my medium lights, my Ned rigs, my hair jigs, my drop shots. And then I went with 8 pound, which doesn't seem like a big difference. But it is to some degree. I prefer to go with the smallest, and you guys know the smallest diameter, the smallest braid. It's 5 pound, but and Brooks, you can't break this stuff. You just can't. Like, it doesn't break. So I don't want you guys to be afraid of the smaller diameter braid. I want you to understand the benefits over having a larger diameter braid, especially for finesse fishing and feeling the bites and making long casts. Now, listen, if you're going to sling like a super spook, a topwater bait on a bait caster with braid, which is a great idea, especially with the right rod, you're going to want your 40, 50. I mean, even Ryan Salzman mentioned 65 on that, because that's going to help with bird's nest and issues that you might have with, digging in to your reel. So that's when I would go with those higher braids, especially with reaction baits like a super spook or a swim jig, baits like that. But definitely if you're looking at getting finesse, especially with spinning rods, this 5, 8, 10, I mean, you can get away with 15. The diameter is still quite small.
Yeah, I was throwing 15 this week down here with, the 12-pound Tatsu. People are asking about the diameter compared to other braids in the Cortland line.
And Brooks will probably be able to answer this better than me, but if you look at this 5 pound, it's 0.004, which is right there. If you look at like the Smackdown, which is 15, I think that's at 0.009. There's a big difference between 0.004, 005, 006 when you're talking braid. Do you agree with that, Brooks?
Yeah, 100%. The most important thing is that thickness in braid, it takes a longer time to obviously cut through the water versus, a thinner braid to cut through the water. I would definitely say that Cortland's products are equal to, slightly less than, everyone's braid's a little bit different. And the most important thing is that it's thin, number one, but number two, it's super durable, and for that type of technique, you're using light leader, number one, and you're using some softer rods, number one, obviously to finesse some fish. So why not drop down in size, cut through that water quicker? And there's so many other advantages to it, but yes, absolutely. We find our braid to be, equal to or better than, other brands out there without compromising break strength, so you can still hammer hooks at home, when you need to do it.
Right. What do you, go ahead, Eric.
Go ahead. No, I was just curious about abrasion resistance, because that's key, is a line tough? It can be smooth. Your master braid, is it an 8 carrier?
So Cortland, sure. It's a great question. Cortland's braid is very unique versus, everything out there that's on the market. We braid with pure constructions, various denier sizes. So our carriers actually will vary per size. So you will find like our 5 through 40 pound will be 4 carrier, 50, 65 is 6, 80 is 8, and 100 through 200 is 12 carrier. And we do some unique things as far as the way we braid. There's a phase called heat stretching, and a lot of people that aren't familiar with the manufacturing side of it, as they shouldn't be, aren't familiar with that phrase of heat stretching. So what we find is that when we braid pure constructions, various carriers to certain sizes in pure deniers. We use all spectra fiber, which is by far the most durable and, pure fiber that you can build. So number one, our braid is built, from the start with a super great product in Spectra fibers. And heat stretching, basically what would happen is, let's say our braiders will braid to 5,000 yards total, right? The heat stretching will help with your total yield and elongate that yield, whether it's 10, 12, 15%. So, other brands that may get 5,000 yards, on a braid up, when they heat stretch, they end up with 5,500, which is great, when you're selling braid, at a price point and whatnot. But over time, what we find is that heat stretching is that it affects the overall integrity of the braid. So while, we may be equal to in price or around the same others in price, we find our braid lasts longer. And basically you're breaking down that overall composition of that braid, regardless of what fiber that you use.
Sure.
To basically take what would be a 5,000 yard spool and make it 500, and 50 or 5,500 yards. So, there's a trade-off there. And, that's one thing that's unique about Cortland is not cutting those corners. So long-winded answer to your question. There's a lot of parts to that, but, we definitely pride ourselves on, having unique constructions per size and also, the absence of the heat stretching.
Last question, because a lot of people complain about this, man. Color fasting and color fading really quick on your braid. You get a lot of people going, I got a magic marker. It's just in your head, right?
Sure.
I mean, your braid will turn white. Like my braid on my rod right now, and it was on from last season, to be fair. But, it was starting to turn chalky today. And, I wanted to stop, but the bite was good. So talk about color fastness with Cortland, things you do that might stand you out from the competition.
Yep. So we have a process and a technology called FiberTech technology that is both a stiffening agent in the braid, as well as a color last in the braid. So super braids in general, regardless of what brand, what types of fibers they use, whether it's Spectra, Dyneema, Vectran, very, very hard to soak in color, almost impossible, right? Versus a Dacron, which you can dye Dacron no problem and it won't bleed. So we have a unique process in our master braid that we're able to adhere the color to. And I mean, we really take pride in our color lasting as extremely long as possible, versus other brands. It's normal that it fades. The most important thing is that ours doesn't fade as quick as other brands and that it doesn't bleed on your boat. It's easy to make a braid, the right color off the bat, but you look at your hands at the end of the day, or the worst is like a super white colored bottom sport fishing boat for saltwater fishing, and it's got moss green and black everywhere, and you get a phone call and some guy's like, my $5 million boat's got bleed all over it. You won't find that with our brand, especially much less than others. So there's some trade-offs in terms of color, longevity, and bleed, and it's a very hard thing to do. And there's a handful of companies that do it well, and we try to make sure that we do it the best.
Awesome.
Hey, we had a really good question here in the comments. It's interesting, and the question was, do you guys produce or make braid for other companies under a different label at all? You don't have to name the companies if you do, but do you do that as well?
Sure. We used to, especially when I had first started, or even before I first started. We had made some other brands. We had actually built those brands to the point where we're competitors with them today. So no, we no longer do that today. We're a small company, and we really take pride in our own brand and only our own brand. That's specific to the super braids, especially master braid and some of our offshore braids. Now we will build, some industrial stuff, some medical stuff, with our braiders. But as far as fishing products goes, no, it's Cortland and Cortland only at the plant.
Gotcha. A lot of guys commenting. They're looking for a discount code. I know we do that a lot here on this show. I wanted to talk to you about that, Brooks. I know we can't really do too much of a discount because of the way your pricing set up with other dealers, and you want to keep things fair and really, you know, if a company starts giving out a discount and they have a lot of stores out there, you know, Joe over here that sells a bunch of tackle and has Cortland Braid is wondering why you guys are discounting your product. So I totally get that. Can we give them something if they make a purchase?
So I'll kind of add on to what you just said, and the most important thing, you know, with Cortland is we want you to support your local tackle shop. You know, especially during times like COVID, those guys, you know, were probably shut down for 30, 60, maybe 90 days last year, maybe longer. And the most important thing is that you guys go out and support your local tackle shop. You know, it's super easy to buy online. It's super easy to go to a big box store. But these mom and pop tackle shops, even the bigger tackle shops, you know, number one is customer service. Number two is, you know, who's behind the counter. You can go in there day in and day out. You support those guys. You're supporting small families, you know, small towns, you name it. So, yes, number one is we don't like to work out those discounts just because we really support those small local tackle shops. So like you and I talked about the other day, Travis, so what we'll do today, that if you go on to cortlandline.com and you do make a purchase for Cortland Braid, Cortland leader material, whatever that product is, whether you're just trying it out, whether you're respooling because you're already a Cortland customer, at checkout, when you buy whatever it is you purchase, add one of these white or black window/boat decals to your cart, either one. It's a die cut decal. They're super cool. They stick on your boat. They stick on your window. You know, you name it. They last a really long time. They're super durable. Add that to your cart, and then at checkout, enter promo code boat decal. And when you apply that, it'll wipe that charge right off. So it's something a little unique that we can do for everyone, you know, tuning in tonight. It's the least that we can do, and be awesome to check out some giant Cortland logo stickers on boats and trucks around the country.
Hey, man, a lot of people are saying they really, really respect you for saying support your local tackle shop. That resonated with the stream tonight, man.
Hey, let me ask you guys a question. And I know you had mentioned it before, you know, Cortland. Well, I only heard of them, you know, for fly fishing.
Oh, yeah, for me in the beginning.
Whether you're, you know, a weekend angler, tournament angler, a real big tournament angler, do you ever find that there's, you know, a possibility of ever bringing a fly rod on your boat for a certain purpose? Maybe you're fishing, you know, Travis, you would know this, you know, you're fishing the Susquehanna in late August and there's a white fly hatch going on. Right?
Hold on one second. I didn't want to share this. I did not want to share this publicly just yet, but why not? Hold on.
Pre-planned, by the way. This was not pre-planned. This is not a question.
That's so awesome, man.
No, and I got to ask. I mean, personally, I do have a fly fishing background.
Me too.
I grew up on a small lake in upstate New York, a little private lake. I didn't touch a fly rod for a long time. You know, I grew up spin fishing, bait casting.
Yeah,
you know,
me too.
Buying Zooms and stuff at Walmart, and that's all I kept on. You know, but so and then I got into fly fishing, obviously Cortland. So I'm just curious how this, if it ever does, you know, tie in. You know, I'll go back to my question, Travis. You know, if you have, you know, a true mayfly hatch or a true white,
dude, I'm digging it. I'm digging it.
Wacky, like a grasshopper hatch on some crazy water,
bro.
And you can't.
Where do we start?
You know, some fly that's this big, you know, on a bait caster. I don't care if you're throwing 5-pound braid or 5-pound mono. That size of a fly is not going to reach your target. So, is there ever a time? I mean, even for guys that, you know, are really good anglers, I've seen it once on ESPN or whatever bass fishing tournament show I watched, but I remember a guy having a fly rod on there. I thought that was the coolest thing. So
you could use a casting bubble, man, and get it like a.
Oh yeah,
we do that. There it is, torpedo.
Yep. I'm not saying anything else, but yes, that's all I'm saying right now. As you can see, I got my little fly tying gear, my everything. I'm in 100%, dude.
Good to know.
Yeah.
Yeah, look at that, man. Little jelly minnow, man. Little popper.
Dude, I'm ready. Look at that sexy thing.
Never too much stuff on this boat, huh?
Oh, excuse me, Mr. Helge.
What are you doing in there?
Yeah, dude, I got some ideas. I got some serious ideas moving forward that yeah. Fly rod, no. But flies and items like this,
Yep, casting boat. Yep.
for sure.
Yeah, me and Travis didn't even talk about it. Casting bubbles money, man. I've used it before.
Well, the last thing you guys
zing
probably
it out
want
there forever.
the last thing you guys want is another rod, let alone a fly rod on your boat.
Yeah,
So,
right.
I mean,
Do the old double, triple haul, man. Soon.
no, to be honest with you, I think there is a time and place. There is a major I've seen a major insect hatch where smallmouth were gorging on them on a big open body water lake.
absolutely.
And something like a fly rod probably would have came in handy that day. Really would have.
It happens up here a lot, you know, in upstate New York on the Finger Lakes. And I'm sure there's some listeners out there that have fished those before, but you're talking lakes that are gin clear. They're 18, 20, 30 miles long, but they're 400 feet deep. They're very, you got to check them out. They're very unique lakes. You know, and they get these mayfly hatches on there and smallmouth specifically really key in on them. And once they're locked in on, you know, a really small bug, it's kind of hard to get them off that. So just a funny, I wanted to mix it up a little bit. I knew you had an answer to it.
No, I love it. That's between that and adding a few different hard baits and another technique I don't use too often in my, I guess, goals for 2021 season. That's in there. That's in there. So yeah, I'm glad you brought that up. Listen, so a couple questions we had here, and I want to kind of go back over that. Someone mentioned the benefits of using braid and current. And I can tell you what, guys, I mean, everyone's got their own personal preference on line and how they fish finesse. But a smaller diameter bait is going to get that bait down through that current. You're going to feel the bottom so much easier. There's no reason in my mind for someone to throw any finesse type of bait on a spinning rod with straight fluorocarbon. It doesn't make sense when you can use a leader and still have the feel that braid offers. And now with these smaller diameters, with the fact that you can throw it in a high vis and really watch your line, you know, I have very good eyesight, and I can see that black braid in years past just fine. I never went with a high vis because I could never find one that would last long enough. My hands would always be yellow. And so that's why I went away from that. I stopped looking for a high vis braid. And I'm excited to be able to go back to it now and really see, if you will, what I've been missing, because I know there's been some short strikes and some instances when watching that line is very important. If you watch most guys on the Elite Series and anglers that are at that level, the guys that are in the know really do use high vis braid with their techniques. I've noticed that quite a bit. I don't know if you've seen that too, Eric, but.
Oh yeah, absolutely, man. High vis yellow is the rage, man.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it truly is. So yeah, Brooks, I'm, like I said, super excited to be working with you guys. I'm excited to be able to use your braid. I'm going to be making a video within the next probably 2 months or so, once my real orders come in, of like how I spool up and what size braid and why for each different application. So I'll be putting that together for everyone. Of course, you can head on over right now if you want to get some of that line at cortlandline.com, as well as, you know, tackle stores that have it. I know, Brooks, that's probably one of your main jobs, is to gather more support from tackle stores to carry your products. Is that true?
100%. You know, and it starts with the guys that are listening tonight. Again, you're supporting, you know, small tackle shops, small towns, great people, you know, and I'd love the support, you know, for the brand, you know, whether it's from directly the website, you know, your local tackle shop, going and ask for it, you know, regardless of where you're getting it from. It's great support for us. We're a small company, upstate New York, made in America. A lot of great people that are behind the brand.
How many employees do you have roughly?
We have about 10 in the front office and then about 20 out in the manufacturing plant. And
okay.
Tell you what, anybody that's listening today, you find yourself traveling up to, the St. Lawrence, Oneida, the Finger Lakes, Lake Ontario, you find yourself in and around Cortland, reach out to us and I'll give you a quick plant tour. And
That's so cool.
It'll blow your mind. It's a really cool place. You're going to get to see the faces that are behind the brand, and it gives you a huge appreciation for what you're putting on your reel.
That's awesome. Can they find the dealer network on your website where they can buy?
They can. Okay. Absolutely. And, we're super easy as far as ordering from, shops that might not have dealt with Cortland in the past. Listen, we don't have minimums. We really want to, expand the brand, expand the braid, and support local tackle shops. So, if your local shop doesn't have anything and that's who you want to order from, tell them to give us a call and we'll make it happen for them. We're super easy to work with. Our team is phenomenal. The guys in customer service, the guys Richard and Matt and Chris and Nate. And I work with these guys day in and day out. I answer phones, we answer emails. We work with the guys in the braiding department. So it's a tight knit community at the office and in the facility. They're connected right next to each other. We're here to help.
Good deal.
Yeah, that's awesome. I know there's a bunch of stores, independent stores around my area that I would love to see carry it. I know you guys know I work a lot with the Reel Shop back in Wisconsin. I already talked to the purchaser there, and they're definitely going to put an order in and get some Cortland Braid in their store. Susquehanna Fishing Tackle, George and Mike and those guys, they need to get on board here too.
Heck yeah, man.
Because there's a lot of smallmouth anglers in this part of the country that would really appreciate that line. So I know Mike's probably watching this. Get on board, Mike. Let's get that stuff in that store.
That's nice.
Let's do it. Well, Brooks, man, I appreciate it. Is there anything else you want? You went through a lot. Very well educated when it comes to braid. Now, you like the braid. You're the braid master, dude.
Nice.
You're the braid master.
I wish. I learn a lot from the guys at the plant. No, I really appreciate you guys having me on tonight. It really helps us to, show everyone the brand. Probably a brand that a lot of people haven't heard about. But actually, to start the show, it's nice to hear that a lot of people have heard about Cortland. One of the things I've always been told is it's the best braid no one's ever heard about. And,
yes.
It's been a long time, obviously, from the Dacron days. We've had a great following, and we still do with inshore, offshore saltwater. Obviously, we're making a smaller push into the bass market, which is awesome. And, we really appreciate the support. It's an incredible company to work for. Again, I was born in Cortland, New York. There's no better way to work day in and day out than travel to where you were born and work for a fishing company when you're a fishing guy. So
yeah, that's awesome.
It's awesome. And again, small company. If you guys have any questions, reach out to us, Instagram, Facebook, send us an email at info@cortlandline.com. More importantly, check us out. Get some braid, some leader material. Remember, use code BOATDECAL to grab yourself a free decal at checkout. Appreciate it, Travis. It's been awesome, man.
Absolutely. Looking forward to it. Thank you. Welcome back anytime. We'll probably have to get you on the boat when I'm up there, dude. Do some serious hardcore smallmouth.
I can use the day out of the office. So
there you go.
That's nice.
I love it. Cool. All right, Brooks. Thank you very much.
Thanks, guys. Have a good
Appreciate
night.
it, Brooks.
All right.
Appreciate it,
man. Bye.
Man, good stuff, dude.
That's good stuff.
Seriously,
man.
super excited about their braid. It's going to be an undertaking for me, dude. 22 spinning reels to spool up.
It's huge. It's unbelievable, man. What's next, man? I got dinner right there. Can I grab a bite? Because I'm about to pass out.
Yeah, you're welcome to leave.
I appreciate getting a little break here, man.
Why don't you just bring your meal right in front of the camera, dude, and we'll just hang out.
Okay, it'd be a first. All right, I'll get it started, man.
I see my buddy Branden lurking in the depths below here. He's ready to come on.
He's in the depths, man.
I'm gonna bring Alex on real quick. Wake
Yo.
up there, buddy. Alex, the intern. We still don't have a proper name for the dude, but
we'll get there eventually. One of these days.
Yeah, dude. Well, you got a lot of heat last week on the Patreon talking about your backdrop, and I love it, dude. It looks ghetto as hell, but I love it. I can't think of a better backdrop than what you got going there.
Yeah, you put it the best. It's so bad, it's good. And I think we got to keep it. I'm liking it.
Shit. Yeah, dude, that's some good stuff. That braid, dude. I mean,
It was, yeah, bro. I mean, he was really good. And I mean, a lot of times you never had someone on the show before. You don't know how well it's going to go, but he was great and he's very knowledgeable about his product. I learned more about braid than I thought I would ever know, but really interesting. I like to hear it. And hopefully we can get him back on the show and you get on the boat with him. Definitely get some good content.
That would be cool. I'm really looking forward to being able to put that to the test. And you know, like I said, guys, it's important to support smaller businesses, smaller companies, US built companies. You guys know on the Patreon, I made the announcement last week that I did team up with St. Croix Rods. We can make that official now. Another company here in the US. So it's pretty cool to be able to work with companies that are right here, because you guys know I'm always bashing. Not that's, you know, there's a lot of crap, dude, that we buy and just it breaks. You know what I mean? And we all know where that comes from. And it's such a big deal to buy, to be able to have a quality product like that and something that works. And like I said, I first of all never would have heard of them if it wasn't for you know, the people that follow this channel and send me messages on a daily basis. So I appreciate that. That allowed me to look into it, because you know, if Russell never reached out to me, dude, I still would be lost. You know what I mean? I'd still be searching for the perfect braid. So that's truly awesome. I don't want to wait any longer because it's been forever. I was trying to see, you know, every year, well, at the Bassmaster Classic, we would hang out with these guys from Power Pole. You guys know I love their stuff. I've been running Power Poles on my boat since 2008. Wow. 2009. Yeah, for the first year I had the one pole, then I had another one pole, and then I think it was like the 2009 or 10 Classic. Like everybody had the dual power pole.
Everyone had them, yeah.
Okay, and it just got crazy from there. And I mean, that was their bread and butter for years. I mean, that's what they're known for. But they're coming out with some pretty innovative products.
Absolutely.
And damn, another buddy of mine just jumped on here. Let's bring these guys on. All right, Alex, we're gonna put you aside real quick.
All right.
Wait for Epic Eric to come back. I gotta bring Branden on. What's up?
What's up,
dude?
What's going on?
By the way, dude, that's sick.
You like that?
I do.
Wore it just for you.
You got some deer in the background. You got your rods, dude. You're down in Florida.
Florida, man.
Dang.
Nice and warm.
Is it? I thought there was a little cold front.
It was. It was actually kind of chilly this morning, but it warmed up this afternoon.
Yeah, dude. So I've known Branden for years, like a long time. We've had a lot of nights hanging out together. A lot of boatyard service crew talks.
That's right,
dude. I don't even know. So glad.
Much easier times.
Are you going to the Classic in June? You're going to be down there in Dallas?
I'll be there. I wouldn't miss it. I'll be there.
I'm going to try to make it. I got the invite from Mercury. They're looking for some help. So my schedule, I think, is going to work out. It's kind of crazy that they moved it, but hopefully I'll see you guys down there. It's always a fun time. You know, you're in a different mode down there, dude. You're in like sales mode. You're all dressed up, and you know, you never know what look you're going to pull. Sometimes you got the long hair, sometimes the short hair, sometimes the scruffy beard, the cowboy boots. I mean, that's your thing. I know it, but you never know what you're going to get with Branden. But listen, first and foremost, I know a lot of people know Power Pole's been around for quite a while. You have a very good name recognition in the industry. First of all, I love your product, but this year, and we're going to talk about it, I was blown away by another product that you guys offer now, and it has saved me so much. Like if looking back, battery issues have always haunted me in the worst ways, at the worst possible time. Money has been lost in tournaments because of battery issues. And last year in 2020, and I fished hard, was the first year, dude, I don't even have to check to see if my batteries are charged in the morning. I don't care. I take the extension cord, I pull it out, and away I go and don't have to worry about it. So I want to talk about all that crazy stuff. Before we get into it all, Branden, let's talk about a little bit of background on yourself, how long you've been with the company, and kind of what your roles are with Power Pole.
Oh, well, it's been an awesome ride. I've been there 16 years. Seen a lot of faces come through. We've grown quite considerably since I first met you, and a lot of that is due to guys like yourself. You know, it was you guys were our shoe-in the bass industry, and As you know just as well as I do, we followed you guys around religiously for years on tour. And, you know, you guys really helped us put us where we were, and we owe a lot of our success to guys like you.
Yeah, man, I appreciate it. You guys have the best shallow water anchoring system out there. I wouldn't even second guess. Listen, I've had, since 2009, I had a bad circuit board where I couldn't get one pole up, and that was about 2014.
Yeah.
I had both my power poles deploy on the highway because the button was in my truck and a soda bottle shifted over and hit the down and cleaned them right up. Okay. And
it happens.
All I had to do is call the 800 number, dude. And there was a new one sent out in the mail the next day. Like,
that's right.
Customer service. And I know you guys take a lot of pride in that because you have to. That's got to be something in your team meetings and your philosophy as a company is customer service, because there's no way you can be that good and that efficient without talking about it. Agree?
100%. You know, we love building innovative products, but at the end of the day, our customers are most important to us.
Yeah.
And treating them like we would treat anyone else is, all day long, that's all we preach. Customer service, customer service, customer service. They're number one.
Yeah. Yeah. No, absolutely. Let's talk a little bit about, let's go with the flow, man. I mean, I know you're a big angler as well. It's more saltwater, right? You like chasing, what was that, redfish or whatever? Trout? I don't know what you do down there, dude.
Hey, that's our grassroots. That's where we started. You know, that power pole was invented to catch redfish, snook, trout, shallow waters of Tampa Bay. Yeah. And it's just worked everywhere else. You know, if you're going to have a boat and fish in shallow water, it's absolutely an advantage of yours to have one or two.
So what do you down there in Florida, redfish, do you fish tournaments? Or are you just kind of a weekend angler?
I used to. Yeah, used to. I fished the redfish circuit back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
Won some money off some redfish. It was good. It was good times.
Yeah.
But the day job is definitely where it's at.
I gotcha. Yeah, dude.
The following and the sponsorships on saltwater tournaments, especially inshore stuff, was tough. It's just, it's a small niche.
Sure.
But,
right on. Where's some of the awesome places to fish for redfish if you could pick a handful of them?
Oh, it'd be South Louisiana by far. Oh, yeah.
Locally by you, what can you expect? Because you're pretty close to what?
So, yeah, we're in Tampa. Our fishery's actually been closed for redfish, snook, trout for, I think we're on the 3rd year now.
Oh, damn.
We had some bad red tide episodes and some freezes before that. Really kind of hurt the population. We've got a high guide content here too. A lot of people travel to the area to come fish. So it's been a completely catch and release fishery for 3 years now.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
And they've rebounded. It's been well. It's been real well for the fishery. But, it's just like everything else, especially with COVID. Everyone went out and bought a boat, and you can go out on a Wednesday, and it's like a Saturday.
Is it? Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Jam-packed with peeps.
Mm-hmm.
Jam-packed. Well, hey, I got Epic Eric here eating.
What's
Eric,
up, man?
Say hi to Branden, dude.
Legendary customer service power pole in the house, man. I had one problem with my power pole since I've been running them. Literally, I called you guys up. Literally, the product was there within a day.
I don't know how they do it.
I've never, ever, ever heard of another company that has world-class, legendary, take care of the customer no matter what service. You guys ruled because of that, and a great product.
I appreciate that. It will forever be our number one focus is making the customer happy. I can promise you.
Well, you've lived up to it. Anybody that I've ever talked to, and that's extraordinary in this day and age to have a company like that in our bass fishing world, man. So hats off to you, brother. Thank you very much.
I'm sure, as you guys know, it's not if you're going to have a problem with your boat or anything on your boat, it's when. And what it really matters at the end of the day is how you take care of that problem.
Oh, yeah.
I've never eaten dinner on a live stream, but I've been fishing dawn to dusk every night in Florida.
Do it.
The boys, Brent Anderson, went to dinner with Big Nate, and they brought me back a steak. So I'm eating some Outback, man. Sorry, I've never done this on a stream.
Awesome.
I was about to pass out.
Go to it, man, because I got a bunch of questions, man. As far as I just got to share my experience. So the power pole charge system, I'm going to be straight up with you guys. It's expensive. It's an expensive piece of equipment. Okay, what's it retail? $1,300? right around there.
Yeah, $12.99.
So it's a big investment, but it's one of the most important investments to make sure you can have your power and stay on the water. I don't know how many times I've had a 4-bank charger in my boat, and it just, I mean, I've replaced dozens. Okay, it's sad. Dozens of 4-bank chargers. And half the time I wake up in the morning, it's still flashing red, and I'm freaking out. I mean, you guys have seen my videos.
Oh,
the Lake
man.
Erie episode. The Lake Erie episode, dude. My 4-bank fried. Nothing was charging. I had to run to Walmart and buy all new batteries that night at midnight, up until 4 a.m. Of course, they canceled the next day. But, I mean, it seems like it haunts me everywhere I go. And I know there's a lot of people in that situation. So last year was the first time that I put that power pole charge in my boat, and I was very confused at first. I know I called you, Brent. I called Jason. I called a lot of guys and friends of mine too that dealt with battery chargers, and it just seemed like alien to me how it worked, how it transferred power from.
That's crazy.
Listen, I run AGMs. Well, last year I ran all AGMs for my starting and lithiums for my trolling motor, and that one charge could do both batteries just fine. Like,
That's
that
crazy.
freaked me out, dude. It freaked me out. So, first of all, thank you for an amazing product. I can't see myself ever not using that again, especially of all the hardship that I've been through in the past. Talk to me a little bit about it, because I can pull up my phone, dude, and watch how everything's being charged, and I don't even have to get out of my bed at the hotel room at night during the tournament. There it is. We're good to go.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Well, I mean, from our standpoint, if you look at the evolution of a bass boat or someone that's really serious in tournament fishing, batteries and chargers did not progress. They did not keep up with the times, in our opinion. You know, here you have 4 large graphs. You've got, you know, a state-of-the-art trolling motor. You've got 2 power poles. You've got a stereo. You've got 4 pumps going. And the charger and the batteries, I mean, up until lithium batteries and really good AGMs, it was commonplace that you'd talk to someone at the end of the day and it was battery issue, battery issue, battery issue, battery issue. It was that was the story. That was the singing that song and dance. And you know, we were pretty confident that we had a solution to that problem, and we worked through it for a while. And it was slow to come to market, but you know, we're really glad where it's at. You know, the feedback, just what you've told, has just been awesome.
It has.
You know, we kind of gotten to that point there where people were putting jump systems in their boat to try to do things automatically and, you know, save battery for whatever reason from however they were doing it. And we really just wanted to take that guesswork out and put it in one system that would charge your boat at the end of the day. It shifts power to wherever you're using it on the boat. It gives you an emergency start feature, and you can see in, you know, real time on your phone or any Navico device what's going on with your batteries anytime throughout the day.
Hold on.
You know,
Did you just say it gives you an emergency jump start?
That's right.
Yeah, dude.
Like
So the biggest thing with charge, the biggest thing with charge, it takes all the battery power in your boat and combines it as one usable source. So very first thing in the morning, you know, you unplug your charger, you get on the water, turn your trolling motor on. It's going to skim power off that 12-volt battery and kind of supplement your trolling motor batteries. And as soon as you stop your trolling motor, it's going to move power right back to your cranking battery.
Wow.
And all of that is user definable, how much or how little you want it to do that. And it's completely tunable to your style of fishing.
That's crazy.
At the end of the day, you're driving around on your graph or, you know, not running your outboard, and you go to start your engine, you now have 24 or 36 volts of trolling motor power available to jumpstart your engine.
Wow.
Charge converts it to 12 volts automatically. It's a pretty awesome piece of equipment.
So here's something cool about it too. It's very compact.
It is.
It especially in today's, you know, there's some boats out there that I have no idea how they can fit all that stuff back there, and it's crammed up. You think in this day and age it would be a wide open space and people would have figured out how to manage their space back there.
Yeah.
But that's not the case. You know, nowadays you're running 3, 4, 5 batteries. You got your power pole pumps back there. You got your live wells, everything, or aerators and all that going on. Bilge pumps. It takes up a very small blueprint that you can just put it back in the corner there or something up against the gunnel or whatever, and you're good to go. I mean, that's where I have mine. And like I said, I've never had an issue where I've just never worried, dude. I thank you, seriously, because that's a big deal for someone that fishes almost daily. Is you're always worried, am I going to make it through the day? Dude, I've been
Eric,
well,
we kind of took the same mentality, and this is kind of where, coming from our saltwater roots, we wanted a light, compact, small as possible thing that you could put in your boat, and that's what we shot for.
A couple questions here. They seem relevant. What's the max charge rate per battery? 15 amp, or what's the max power draw on the charge? Can you kind of talk about the specifics on that? Or
I can. It really depends on the battery. It's got a different algorithm for lead acid, lithium, AGM. The thing that's special about charge is we don't charge each individual battery in a 36-volt series. We charge it at 36 volts. What's good about that is it really maintains the health of the overall bank. If you've got an individual charger that charges each of those individually and it can imbalance them, that higher battery is going to be pulled down constantly by the lower battery. What we achieve with that is just the best balance throughout the series that we could really achieve.
I gotcha. Yeah, very good. Guys, keep the comments coming in. We're definitely following it. I want to bring your coworker in here. Jason,
is he in here?
You know what? He's here. Where's Blake, dude?
Oh man, I don't know where Blake is.
He's scared. He's a scared little boy. Jason's not scared, man. He'll show up looking like whatever, Grizzly Adams. Dude? Yeah. Strong. It's strong tonight, dude.
Now that's a knife.
What's up?
Jason, man, what are you doing? You in Tennessee? You working with the elites this week, or?
No, I'm here in sunny Florida.
Oh.
Really? Where?
Me and Branden might go take a test day tomorrow.
Where in Florida are you guys right now?
I'm in Apollo Beach.
Okay.
South of Tampa.
I'm Vero Beach right now.
Okay.
Okay. You ain't far away.
Yeah, okay.
Just on the other side.
You guys know, yeah, right. You guys know Brent Anderson? BA?
I don't know.
Okay.
Brett.
Anyway.
He's a guy down there. You guys been doing some serious
Sounds
fishing.
really familiar.
You guys been doing some serious bass fishing for the last, what? You've been down there 2 weeks almost, Eric.
Well, it was last week. Yeah, so coming on, about a week and a couple days.
Dang.
So it's been good, man.
I always talk to Branden at the Classic, and I'm like, dude, I gotta experience some of that fishing. I gotta hang out. I gotta come down there. I never get the invite.
You always haul butt, dude.
Dude, you're always lobster or crabbing or whatever you do down the Keys, and then you go to Georgia and shoot some deer on, I mean, I don't know, dude. You're all over the place. But listen, so Jason's hook helped me out more than once, dude. Like, I can't even tell you, dude. We've had some long nights in the service yard together, but he's always gone above and beyond. Like, I had an issue once that was, I don't even think power pull related. And next thing I know, he's digging in there, moving my pumps around for some reason and giving me some updates, dude. So, dude, like, seriously, your customer service above and beyond the phone. Just at the service yard, dude. You guys busted your ass.
Hey, we want the product working right, We see something we can improve. Back to the charge with the overall amps to the batteries, how much you can put in. It's 500 watts. So if you're on 36 volts, we can put up to 12 amps into that 36 volt bank while charging. 30 amps into the 12 volt. So that totals 500 watts.
So that's some serious shit, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to comprehend.
So what happens a lot of times with that charge is we charge the 36 volt bank first, and a lot of guys don't see the cranking battery charging immediately, and that's how our product works, actually. So, a lot of guys, actually, Gary Klaus in the Elite actually was wondering how many amps we had put in there because he'd always go to bed before it got to the cranking battery. And he unplugged it and charged it with a 15 amp charger. And then in the next morning, I told him it was 30 amps, and it kind of defeated the purpose. He could charge the cranking battery probably twice as fast as a normal conventional onboard charger.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's crazy. And I'll tell you what, another thing, a benefit of me being buddies with you guys is I get the inside scoop on a lot of things. And Jason, I just want to thank you. We had a conversation 3-4 weeks ago, and I was debating whether, because you see it all. You're at the service yard. You see everybody's products, everybody's boats. I mean, you see everything. So you're in the know. And you definitely directed me in the right direction when it comes to lithium batteries and things like that. So that's another announcement in the future. But you're right on, dude, with everything. I mean, you blow me away every time we have a serious conversation about it.
Well, I mean, when you follow each event and there's 200 of you, you see a lot. Every week back to back. I mean, a lot goes on. Guys don't have time to do maintenance. They're going from tournament to tournament. You see a lot out there that happens, and you tend to see which products stand out above the rest. And the guys maintaining all their stuff and having the support. There's a lot of events that a lot of events they don't have the support anymore. So we try to service every one of them as much as we can, as many events as there are. So. Following 200 boats around, it gets busy.
Yeah, you learn a lot. You know what's going on. Any news? What's the big thing here at Power Pole lately, man? What's going on? What's on the agenda?
Well, I can tell you the number one question, and if I had $1 for every time I was asked, it's where's the trolling motor?
Yes. I didn't want to say anything because I didn't know. I didn't want to step over anyone's toes. I'm glad you brought it up. Where's the freaking trolling motor, dude?
Well, I can tell you we've had a very methodic approach, and there's a reason why Charge came out before this product. We want to make sure your batteries and your power and everything is at the utmost best it could ever be before we sell you a trolling motor. But it'll be worth the wait is all I can say, and it's coming real soon. There's a lot of competition. There's a lot of great products out there. And, we want to come into the market with what we feel is the best. And we're not going to release it till it is. And like I said, I think you'll be really impressed.
Yes. Everyone who follows me knows, I've had some challenges when it comes to trolling motors in the past. I'm excited. I'm really, really excited. This has been, there was rumors 3 years ago, and maybe you had something in development then.
It's been.
Yeah, dude. 3 years people have been waiting for this. So time frame, where are we at now? I don't want to hold you to it. Is this something we can see in 2021, or do we got to wait?
It's a really good possibility. Hey, if you come down here and visit us, you can see it tomorrow.
Right?
Just come on, man.
I know. We might have to send Eric in.
Yeah. Come on over.
So you guys are going to play hooky tomorrow and go fishing?
Hey, you never know. I'll see how I feel when I wake up.
Come on. By the way, another buddy of mine at Power Pole, Blake, actually everyone's a cool dude down there, but Blake, Jason, Branden, we're pretty tight. There's a few other cool cats there, but I offered Blake to come on the show, but he seemed really, really nervous, which kind of threw me off. Like, he doesn't seem like the nervous guy. I mean, I've hung out with him on the streets of Shreveport at 2 a.m. and he doesn't come off like the shy guy. So
I think he blocked me. I tried calling him earlier. Went right to voicemail.
It's all good, man. I seriously, first of all, appreciate you guys hanging out with us tonight. It's unfortunate we can't, hang out when we normally do here. And actually, coming up in a couple of weeks, the classic got postponed, moved to Dallas. That's where we'll see each other. It looks like I got a green light to head down there. Jason, I'm sure you'll be down there.
We'll be there.
Always a good time. Well, some nights are better than others. If we can get, you guys away from the sales side of things, because you guys work your butt off down there, dude.
Yeah, getting a lot of gray in here too.
You are now, Jason. You're one of them red fishermen too, aren't you?
As much as I can.
Yeah.
as much as I can.
What's your story as far as some of the amazing redfish? I don't know nothing about it. You know, Eric's buddy, Scooter Lilly, from where's he? Carolinas.
Yeah.
Gets into some big reds. Talk to us about that, Eric. Where's it at again? Nags Head, or I'm guessing here. I don't know shit about.
No,
redfish,
it's on the Pamlico Sound.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, these are like 40, 50, 60 pound, 70 pound.
Definitely get some big bull redfish up there.
Oh yeah,
Biggest in the world. Some of them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and the record is from up there somewhere.
Yep. Probably there. Yeah.
All you need is that Berkley Gulp shrimp, right?
Hey,
I'm
A
guessing.
a lot of money's been won on that Berkley Gulp shrimp.
There's
I have no
doubt
idea.
about it, man. The little redfish down my way, man. The puppy drum, they eat it. Oh, they just trout, flounder, specks. It's crazy, man.
Yeah.
Man, if I lived in Florida and Tampa, I'd be out there, dude. I would be like the giant Goliath groupers, the sharks, man. I would be messing with those speckled trout and shit.
It's one. You just need one. That's it.
Shit, dude. Or I don't know. It's been so long. I do tell you what, when I do get to saltwater fish, a lot of my recent fishing has been in the Florida Keys, both the bay side and the ocean side. And it's a blast when you can go out there without a whole lot of experience and just have a fish tug on your line wherever you decide to go. I mean, there's so much shit living down there in the ocean, Eric. It's crazy.
Oh, like it's amazing. If
I had
Florida, sportsman's paradise, man. These guys live in. It's the sportsman's paradise.
It really is. Man. The only problem is
it's fresh, it's hunting, it's
okay. Man. You want to go turkey hunt and get bit by a rattlesnake or whatever you got down there? No.
Sure.
You want to go shoot a wild boar and get a alligator bite you?
Yeah.
You want to go swimming? Dude, if I want to go swimming, I can go jump in Lake Ontario when it's 85 degrees out. It's a cool 65 degrees. I ain't got to worry about no bull shark biting my leg.
Wait a minute.
None of that.
Hold on. Time out. And then you want to fucking commit suicide from like November to February?
Well, I'll go out in those big waves, dude, but I am
Enjoy
not
yourself,
dealing with...
man, in the frozen tundra while you're jerking punch through the ice, man. No.
Yeah, 2 weeks ago, you couldn't even fish.
Well... Dude, I'm just saying.
You can have New York, man. I'm going to the sun and the salt, brother. See ya.
Yeah. Sharks and alligators over snow all day long.
Oh, yeah, man.
Brandon, I've seen your Instagram. I've seen where you go, you catch those lobsters.
Mm-hmm.
Not a real lobster, but like one of them saltwater like it's not even a real lobster. It's not a lobster from Maine.
It's a spiny lobster, man.
Yeah,
spiny lobster.
So you're diving in the water, dude, where there's sharks to catch these things. That just blows my mind.
They ain't bothering you.
Sure they are. If you got a cut on your leg, dude, if you got anything, you're done.
Hey, it's like fishing the Detroit River.
Tell them the story when you got run over by the prop.
Oh,
yeah. What happened?
You got to worry more about boats and other people than you do sharks.
Yeah. I know it's a popular, like it must get jam-packed down there when the season opens. When does that season run? It's always like early summer, right?
Yeah, they'll have a 2-day mini season at the end of July, and then first week of August, regular season opens.
And people just
usually go for a couple weeks, first part of August.
Yeah.
So
damn.
You're allowed 6 per day per person. So as long as you can go and as many times as you want to get in, bring home whatever you want.
You're just skin diving or scuba diving?
Yeah, free diving.
With a mask?
Yep. Mask, weight belt, fins, tickle stick,
you got
and
your
net.
GPS marks on these rock piles or whatever. Yeah. You go down there, you got a little stick, you tickle the rocks or something.
That's right.
Then they come out and you grab them or net them or something.
Yeah. I actually got one right here on my desk. Look at that.
Let's see it.
There you go. It's fake, got a little wood one.
That's awesome.
Crazy. They ever do they hurt you?
I mean they're spiny lobster for a reason. They got spines all over. You got to wear gloves and they'll tear you up. You know, if your hands get wet and you grab one wrong.
Like a cat.
It's usually the other stuff that lives in the holes with them that get you.
Yeah, those eels and shit, electric eels and shit.
That's
electric eels.
Screw that. I don't want to deal with none of that,
dude, man, you're not even down there and you're already freaking out, man. You're thinking about it freaking out.
Because, dude, I'm telling you.
You just show up for dinner with some drawn butter, man. Your White Claw, you're good.
Oh yeah,
yeah. My White Claw.
Your wild cherry White Claw and a spiny lobster tail, man. You'd be set.
So true. So true. Damn. All right, where do we go from here, guys? Because we could go all night, but shit. We covered a lot. Again, I just want to have you guys on to let our viewers know a little bit about some of the products that PowerPole does have to offer. You know, on a serious note, seriously, their charge is legit. I'm super excited to try out your trolling motor, you know, at some point, whether it be this year or next. I know when you guys put out a product to market, it's going to be right. And so that gets me really excited. As far as the, I guess, power poles in general, as far as size goes, you know, I run 10 footers because I do run a little bit deeper water. I'm fishing offshore a lot. I do fish a lot of smallmouth in that 6 to 8. And so I prefer a 10-foot blade. I know they come in 8. As things evolve, is there any changes as far as the power pole goes moving down the road, or is there anything in the works? I'm just curious, just interested in that.
I can tell you, you know, that's it'll always be our bread and butter product. It's our brand, you know, that's our livelihood as shallow water anchors. And we will not stop innovating when it comes to them. We've got a couple things coming down the pipe. I think you'll be really excited about.
Yeah. No, it sounds like it. Yeah. Damn. I'm ready. So my boat's gonna be here in about 2 weeks. Today I went through the process, and just so the viewers know, I'm gonna actually put together a video of how I order and go through everything when it comes to putting a boat together. I have a spreadsheet here of pretty much anything and everything that's going to be needed for this boat build for 2021. I'm getting excited because I got a call from Doug at Bowers, and he's mentioned that the boat will be here by next week. Now I'm just hoping everything gets there on time. I'm still waiting on a few things. You know, suppliers it's been hard to get product. How are you guys doing as far as keeping up with dealers and customers as well?
It's been challenging, you know, but I don't think anybody anticipated just the amount of sales and people buying boats and taking part in the outdoors when COVID came. And we have not come out of back order since that happened. Slowly chipping away. It's you know, really challenging to get people in the door, get people to come to work, but it's moving along. It's moving along.
Yeah. No, we see that with everything, whether it be products for the boat, tackle, reels, rods, everything's backed up.
It's a good thing. I mean, it's a good problem to have. I think it has put more people and created a new passion for so many new outdoor enthusiasts and fishermen and hunters that it's going to be good. Yeah,
no, that's true. That's true. But the list and everything, once it does come together, guys, I'm going to put out a video on how I actually go about ordering a boat. I see in the comments, Travis must drive his dealer insane. Listen, I'll have a 2-page kind of I don't know what to call it. It's just
rigging instructions.
Rigging instructions where I list. I can go through it all, but I'm not tonight. But
no, please don't.
I know, but I have all my power cords on all my graphs and stuff have been color coded today. You know, red, green, blue. So he knows where everything goes. There's YouTube videos attached to this spreadsheet if he has to find out more information on how to rig, you know, a certain, you know, product. I just want to make sure it's done right. And then at the time of rigging, I'll actually be there all day kind of watching them.
We love that.
Oh my God.
You got to, dude. It's a big deal.
You gotta trust the guy.
Yeah.
You gotta trust him.
I trust him. I do trust him. If I've been their guinea pig. I was their first charge that they put in. I was their first 10-foot power poles that they put in. So you know, they're getting there. They learned a lot dealing with all my crap over the last couple of years because I'm pretty insane in particular on the products that I use. Just for the record, we are running 2 live scopes and a 360 up front with some crazy device that actually turns the live scope with my foot, or I can track a fish down on my trolling motor. And I'm confident that the power pole charge will keep up with with all that juice usage, man. I'm up in the game this year. It's going to be crazy. What do you say to that? All right, boys. Well, listen, thanks for hanging out. Branden, Jason.
Hey,
Brandon,
thanks
Jason,
for
nice
having
to
me.
meet you, man.
Yep.
Say
Thanks
hi to Blake
for
for
Great
me.
job.
Yeah, hopefully Blake was watching live,
I'm sure he is. Maybe.
lurking in the shadows.
He's always lurking in the shadows.
Keep that legendary customer service going, man.
Yeah. So,
Hey,
Jason, are we
always,
going to see each other on the road at all for the Bass Opens or anything like that?
No, we hired a
No.
new guy, Spencer. He'll be our third guy, so he'll be covering a couple of the northerns up there, and you'll see Ian and Happy probably this year.
Yeah.
I know there's a lot scheduled week on, week off up there, so try to keep them up there for a couple weeks, so maybe
I keep
one can
forgetting
fly
it's
back.
been so many years. Happy. I mean, Happy's been hanging out with us for years
Yeah.
on the Nitro side.
Oh yeah.
And
Yep.
what, 5-6 years now he's probably been with you?
Yeah.
Maybe more than that.
Yeah, I think about 6 years.
Wow. And
Yep,
now
he's been at Red Crest. He's been at Red Crest this week.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, that's the coolest thing. The fact that you guys pull up there with the support at all these events. We don't have to worry about nothing. And you guys get the job done. I mean, shit, Jason, you've worked on trolling motors that weren't even power pole related to help a guy out. You know, I mean, you guys go above and beyond. So, again, thank you so much. What more can you say?
Awesome.
Cool. All right, we're gonna move on, guys. We got a lot more to cover. Eric.
Hey, Trav, BA, man, we're getting up early, man. I gotta let this guy get some sleep, man. I'm gonna have to slide him in now.
Let's get him in. Let's get him in.
Come on, BA. Let's go.
All right, Brandon, Jason, thank you so much. We'll talk to you guys soon.
Yep.
All right,
See ya.
man. See you.
All right, awesome. Brent, I know it's
What's up,
past your
man?
bedtime, dude.
How's it going, buddy?
Good. How are you guys doing down there?
Whew, we're tired of winding them in, brother.
Killing it, man.
Yeah, right. Come on.
That run today was crazy.
We had about
50.
45-minute
Oh
flurry
yeah.
that produced about 60 fish
Yeah.
or something. It was crazy.
It was unbelievable, man. And that's just what we boated. I don't even know what we lost.
Well, thanks for the invite. That's all I can say.
You're coming down next year. You got to, man.
told
He
him to
just
bring-
did some random trip. He's like, I'm going to go to Florida next week. And then he doesn't answer my calls, my texts, nothing for the next I mean, it's 6 days in and I finally get a text message from you, Eric.
I had no internet service for the first
Jesus, is
4.
it that bad?
Man, I was in Umatilla, Florida. You ever heard that?
Unatima, who?
Umatilla, Florida, man, in the boondocks, man, like zero service.
Talking to you on the phone, this was the biggest kind of blew my mind. The fact that the majority of the fish have spawned already, and it's February 25th. And I thought we were under a massive, Arctic blast. How is that even possible, Brent? Like, we talked on the phone the other day. You pretty much can pick the weeks that it happens on a consistent basis year after year, correct? Or within a couple weeks?
Yeah. I it happened early this year. The lake that Eric and I went to today, we filmed a show over there. It's going to be sick too. It's the Direction TV, but I'll talk about it later. But we catch like a 40 bag on TV. But they spawned there the first week of January this year. Like there were we were there January 4th catching them off beds. We were catching pre-spawners and post, and there was bass fry everywhere.
Isn't that incredible, Travis?
Yeah, dude. I mean, literally the spawn in America, in the U.S., can last from end of December through August.
Well, hell, sometimes they might go in November down here, right? I mean, you might get a few early.
I have seen them spawn on our Vero Trophy lakes from November till mid-May when I leave. But
so
obviously there's a big wave that does it somewhere between mid-January and mid-February.
Isn't that incredible?
It is. So the theory in Florida, correct me if I'm wrong, is it's when the water temp drops to that 60 degree or 58 or whatever, correct?
Right.
It's you're not waiting for a warm up. You're waiting for
a cool down.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Isn't it though? It's the reverse, dude. So in the winter when we're freezing, there's a place down here with sunshine and big freaking bass.
And water moccasins and alligators. I get it.
You don't see those during the early season, man.
And feral hogs.
It's all safe here, man.
We never see water moccasins down here.
Dude, there was one in the jack plate today, man. Check out Brent Anderson Fishing on Instagram. Did you post a video?
I did.
You'll see a video of a water moccasin come straight over the boat. Brent's been snake wrangling the whole trip. He jumped off the boat. I'll have to put it on my story to try to get Eastern Black Racer. Travis, you would have freaked out, man. He had it by the tail.
Is it poisonous?
Spillway, man, and ran right after it.
Is it poisonous?
6 years.
Is it poisonous?
The black snake was not, but yes, the cottonmouth.
It'll bite you.
Definitely. Yeah.
All right. What are some of the baits techniques that you've had some good success on this week?
Oh man, wow! Everything June bug.
Okay. If you're going fishing tomorrow, what are the 3 baits that you're going to have rigged on?
Go ahead, B.A. You tell them about it.
Well,
I'll get some baits that I've been experimenting with.
My 3 baits are going to be a June bug, swim worm of some sort. Worm. I'm going to have a jackhammer, chatterbait, and probably a flipping bait, some kind of beaver. Now this guy, his 3 are going to be some kind of rat, and some kind of big balsa crankbait.
Yes, and he'll tell you all the history about it.
No, there'll be no history at all because there's this crankbait's not even out yet, dude. But
let me see.
Pretty interesting, man. This is a Lucky Craft bullfish. It's a full 2 ounces, man. And BA, tell him how violent that strike was on that first one, man.
Wow, man. It was awesome. I mean, like it was what, a 4-pounder?
Yeah.
If we hadn't caught this fish, we would have both been thinking double digit.
I mean, listen to the knock in this thing. Can you guys hear that? Isn't that incredible? And I'd cast it out and I'd walk the bait. This thing can walk. It does get snagged around the front, but that didn't happen a lot. And literally I'd walk it and then I'd wake it. And when you wake it, man, it's got this propeller on the back. It is really making a ton of noise. It's a big bait, a big profile, but pretty compact actually. So, and the other thing I've been throwing is the Marty Burns prototype, the big flat shad that I wanted him to make. And I painted this up with Sally Hansen, and this really scored well for me, man. I got a big old fish on that one.
This is the one you lost the big one on too, right?
Oh, I lost a really big fish on this one, man.
Before the 7?
Before the 7, there was one probably I don't even want to know, honestly. There you go, Travis. So that's a couple of debates, man. So I'll keep throwing the big flat side balsas. I've got another one, which is I've got a couple prototypes back here that aren't painted, but they've been scoring really nice. So yeah. Through the rat this week, got some good bites on the rat. It's been fun experimenting, I tell you.
Hey, Brent, Ashmore Marine Products. They're actually on my list. I have 2 products coming from them for my new boat build. One is the Ghost wire keeper.
Yes.
And then the turret. They have a new turret that the right height turret, which allows you to move your live scope around on a separate pole. They actually make a device for that as well. So I made my $92 times 2 purchase with them last week, and looking forward to putting that on my boat for sure.
Yeah, man, he's making some really cool stuff. The way he got started was making he's making dash panels and things for the older model boats
that you can't find,
like the old wood grain.
Yep.
And then he's making the wedge, for a lot of brands. The trolling motor tilts under the bow, so he builds a wedge to flatten that out. I think he just did a deal with Bullet actually, where every bullet's gonna have one on it. So he's got some really cool stuff, man. Check him out.
Yeah, for sure.
Products.
Absolutely. All right. As far as plastics, Eric, you drop shotting down there yet? You catch a fish on a drop shot?
I'm gonna try to catch a bass tomorrow on a naked crankbait. It's been sealed. Marty sent this to me. It's another prototype, but I put that little VMC bladed treble on there, and I'm gonna throw this with no paint. So you can see that it's a different bait. It's got a bigger body. I painted the one that I've been fishing with. I showed it on my Instagram. Just a black back, gold side, orange belly, and that's been really getting some good bites too. So
That
I'm throwing
little
this one
willow leaf
tomorrow.
blade has me intrigued.
Yeah, it's pretty cool, man. That's a little trick, you guys. Listen to the rattle in this. It's got a 1 ticker. Can you hear that?
Yeah.
No, man. So I'm going to keep the experimentation going. Pretty disappointed that I haven't gotten a bite on the working class Zero Citizen. It's a big old freaking giant slab of plastic, man.
Yeah.
And I've spent some time. I pulled up a big fish on Kenansville. I got a nice follow, but he saw the boat and scooted out. I did throw what was that one I lost that giant on? The Clash, Tiny Clash. Day 1 with Nathan, Big Nate, man. I was throwing it on a crankbait rod, so it's probably my fault. I lost this fish, man. But anyway, I was experimenting whether to use it with the lip or not the lip. I glided a little bit, didn't get any action on it, so I put the crank down lip on it, and I had it was on a gravel bar, actually a shell bar. A lot of the Florida bass like that hard bottom, and so these shell bars are full of like little freshwater mussels and snails, and you can feel your crankbait just digging into it. And the Tiny Clash was ticking, and I'd stop it and twitch it a little bit, and the fish just literally jammed me when I did one of those pops and twitches.
Right.
And the fish jumped. Travis, this one, it would have been my PB bass. And jumped once. I was freaking out. Got him to the boat. Jumped again. Literally, Nate came back to the back deck to net the fish, and the fish made a run right where he was with the net, and I lost him. And the lip on my Tiny Clash is gone, man. The fish just knocked it out.
Yeah, right.
Giant bass, man.
Dude.
So still in search of a DD, man. No shot.
You got time.
I know.
You got time. Don't get nervous.
I won't. It might not happen this trip, man.
Yeah.
But there's always next year if it doesn't, man. I'm coming back until it happens.
True.
Every February. You in?
Yeah, we could work something out for sure.
Okay, good.
Brent, I got a question for you. As far as Florida, a lot of people, I'm not a lot of people, myself, when I think of Florida, fishing outside of the spawn, let's talk like April, May, June, July. I think there's 2 approaches. I think there's the heavy cover matted up punching deal, and correct me if I'm wrong, a lot of these lakes are relatively shallow speaking, right? So I'm guessing 12, 15, 18 feet. There's an offshore bite, but it's not like a ledge, right? It's a little different. Can you walk me through that? Am I wrong on my assumption?
You're not. Most of my experience down here are on these smaller, not always like our private lakes, but Kenansville and places like that. But what I've seen a lot of in the post spawn, way post spawn. I leave about mid-May, go back home for tournaments and to go on Tennessee River. But we get a lot of wolf pack. They get in big groups of 20 to 50 and just swim. And like we had 3 wolf packs patrolling this one island out here at Vero last year, and when those dudes swam through, like I would tell my customer, I'd have them all at top water, and I'd say, get in there, let them sit. I'd see the bass come in, and I'd go twitch them, and they just come unglued. But and then we also got fish a lot of sandbars, but not really depth change as much as composition, bottom composition.
Okay. So if you're going to try to locate these, is side image something that comes into play?
Oh man, Travis, you could see him.
Yeah, I usually use the side image to find the hard spots more so than the fish, because a lot of these places are like 3 to 5.
Sure.
And that's another thing. It took me a while to learn. I was so Tennessee River oriented, where you're on a waypoint throwing to on a line. That's where they're gonna be. Like these fish use the entire shell bar, like the hard spot. So if it's 200 yards long, they could be anywhere up and down it. So it's still a lot of covering water, but really kind of dialing in on a little sections.
Gotcha.
And I found that in the drifts that we were making, you literally just have to drift with the wind, using the trolling motor sparingly, and just continue to grind. And then you get a fish, nothing for 30 yards and another fish. They were there. They were all across that bar, just like he said. There was no predictable spot.
Dang.
And Topwater is also, the last 2 years down here from March till when I leave in mid-May, we're 90% throwing Topwater all day.
He threw a giant Topwater, man. Talk about that Topwater.
So
bait. That thing is a monster.
First of all, I want to know, is there a go-to Topwater bait that you recommend? Like it's a must-have if you're fishing Florida waters.
I would say I've got a little bait that I love. It's just a little Academy Sports. It's called a Slush Daddy. It's a little bluegill prop bait, $4, but it's got good components and it catches them.
Yeah.
Wow.
But we have windows where they want a prop bait, and then if they get on a walking bait, that my biggest thing is I try to match if they're predominantly on bluegills, I try to throw bluegill patterns. If they're on shad, I go back to my old bone like I always throw. But I have definitely seen if they're regurging bluegills and you're throwing a shad spook or topwater, the dude throwing a bluegill pattern is going to smoke you. Really? It's really weird. Probably more so than other lakes I've been to.
That's interesting.
Yeah, right.
And they have these really exotic kind of bluegill creatures down here, tilapia, which are giant, and the cichlids. I call them cichlids.
Yeah, we have Mayan cichlid, which are kind of like an Oscar, sort of. It's a cousin of an Oscar. But
can you get Eric on an Oscar while he's down there?
I can get him on a cichlid. We actually don't have any Oscars around that I know of around here. They got them down in the Glades, I think. But
is that even cool? Is that a cool thing to catch one, or is it like if you're from Florida, like, geez, these aren't even that, like, this sucks?
Dude, I had the tilapia on my crankbait.
Yeah,
the gold one at the boat. Dude, it was
these are just different.
Tilapia.
Guys like me up north, we're not ever catching tilapia, Oscar, peacocks, whatever you got chilling down there.
I think the cichlid are awesome, and they top out about 1.5 pounds. And these big bass eat them. Heck, we saw probably a 11 or 12 pounder choking on one the other day, jumping up trying to throw it out.
Really? Yeah.
And I throw a lot of baits that imitate them. But I was down here one day, and the guy that runs the farm down here was watching me fish, and I was catching them cichlid, and he's like, "Throw those things on the bank." And I'm like, dude, I think they're all, they're cool to me still. I haven't caught enough of them that they're a nuisance yet.
I gotcha. Yeah. I could see that to some guys, like snakeheads up here. You got snakeheads down in Florida now too, right?
I don't know about the real true snakeheads. We got the bowfins.
I gotcha.
But they got the bowfins. This is the one that tilapia ate, man. You can see this bait has been chewed a little bit.
Dang.
I know, man. That's the big Marty Brad painted that. Did the gold.
I'm sure you have.
I did, man.
You better buy stock in Sally Hansen.
Sally Hansen, baby. But, TK is going to paint them better when they come out, man. But that was just my little homemade job that the tilapia ate it. Yeah. The secret's in the ticker, bro.
How are we going to get Eric a double digit? That's what I want to know.
I know, man.
Man, we're trying so hard.
you're around them. There's obviously a bunch of them there. You seen one choking on whatever it was choking on, an Oscar. But what do you got to do? Are you just
Dude, I've been mixing it up, Travis. I've been mixing it up, man.
Slow down a little bit. Get that drop shot out, dude.
Dude, I threw my shaky jig worm and scored, man.
Yeah.
I lost my blue and my purple one, man. Got me a
on
6
what?
on it. On my shaky jig worm.
No, you broke off?
Did I break off? Yeah, I didn't retie. I was on a shell bed and caught like 4. I know, man. It was a rookie mistake. I was all excited, man.
Yeah. It was a gar.
No, I think it was a Garfield, man. The gar down here are huge, dude.
I'm sure.
And hungry,
boy. I had both my crankbaits in a gar's mouth. I was like flipping out, dude.
So, Brent, are you pretty much fully booked when you're down there?
Yeah, man, we just started our third full season doing this.
Uh-huh.
And we're like, we have at least one trip a day until early April right now.
I got
and
you.
we've been pretty much running one or two a day since back before Christmas.
Right.
But last year, man, with the pandemic and everything, it kind of knocked it in the head a little bit. And plus we're still growing, you know. I mean, we've still got 2 or 3 TV shows that haven't aired that we filmed here. So, but I don't know how much more we can grow. I mean, right now we've got, you know, myself and Nathan, and we're staying pretty slammed. So
yeah,
we're going to need more guys and more lakes if we're going to get much bigger, I think.
Yeah.
What's your philosophy when it comes to, you know, a lot of guides that cater to tourists or people that may not be hardcore into bass fishing? You think of Florida, you think of live shiners and things like that. Does that come into play? Is that something you get into with clients if they choose? Do you try to cater to what they want, or, you know, how do you go about, you know, using live bait versus artificial? Maybe you don't use live bait at all.
Yeah, we don't use it at all. And that's one thing we're trying to do here. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with it, but I feel like it's almost a crutch sometimes. A cop out almost, like so we're trying to give them an option. You know, if they want to go to Okeechobee or whatever, shiner fish, cool. If they want to come catch them on artificial, that's what they're going to do here. We actually don't even want to introduce our bass to shiners, you know.
Fair enough. Yeah.
And again, I'm not knocking it. If that's what people want to do, great. And I know some good guides that I can send them to. But I mean, we lost a couple trips about a month ago because I said we don't do any shiners. And
sure.
he said, we've heard that before and it wasn't any good. I said, dude, we're catching 100 a day on artificial. Like, I don't think you can afford shiners, man.
Right.
Because them little ones eat them too. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying we're not catching 108 pounders. I wish we were, but
sure.
Those 2 pounders will eat them just as fast as a 10 pounder will.
That's right.
What's the biggest bass you caught this season?
I think a 9.8.
9.8. Nice.
Yeah.
Knocking on the door, man.
We had I don't know this for sure. The farmer guys down here, because this is an orange grove, you know, so they're kind of all I have to go on for history. And they said that when Hurricane Irma came through in 2017, there was a big fish kill in all the orange grove lakes because they're real shallow, and the winds churn up the bottom and the DO drops, and the big bass are the most susceptible. So I think we're going to come back kind of from that as far as getting a lot of 10, 12 pound fish.
Yeah.
I mean, we have caught 10s out of here. We haven't caught anything out of the 10s in my 3 years yet.
Sure.
But last year, I think I weighed over in like 2 months. Once they started on top water, we weighed like 33 over 8 pounds. So
it's pretty crazy.
Bag.
He's got a really, really cool lure that I want to show you, Travis, because you and I in the grass, this is going to be a player.
Okay.
Yeah. Can I tell who makes it?
Of course.
I'm sure you've heard of the Frankie Five Fingers, right?
We showed that.
Yes.
Salsy showed it.
I own 1 or 2.
Yeah.
This one's pretty beat up. So anyways, when all this started, the original multi-blade bait that I came up with and my friend Mike Siddons built for me was the jelly jig. So it's basically just a little mini. It's kind of where's that at?
Right there.
It's a swim jig, but with the arms. And when we made this, I asked Mike to make this for me in, I think it was 2011, and he sent me a prototype, and they were JB welded on. It was kind of rough, but it was the right concept. And the first cast I ever made with it on Kentucky Lake, a 3 pounder, literally destroyed it. Arms fell off. So I told him the changes we needed. He sent it back. He sent me 3 more. I had a guide trip that day, and when I got off the water, they had come in, and I ran back out we had grass on Kentucky back then. And when I got to the end of that strip of grass, I had 23 pounds of smallmouth and I was out of jelly jigs. So I called Mike. I said, man, how many can you get me? Got a tournament this weekend. And I won at the time it was the ABA Bassmaster Weekend Series that weekend on it. The next week I finished third in a 2-day BFL super tournament. I think I've made a top 10 in a regional at Chickamauga. Long story short, I won quite a bit of money on it in about 2 months. And now True Bass is about to launch this guy to go along with the BA
when you're doing well in tournaments, was that deep ledge or is this a springtime application?
This
post spawn.
The whole reason I wanted this thing was for like late summer when the small shad are hanging around stake beds and isolated cover back in the creeks. I was trying to mimic those little shad with these little blades, but those particular tournaments were all grass related patterns.
So Travis, like in the summer when the bay anchovies come in to the Upper Bay and Potomac rivers,
and
they get really thick and they're about an inch long.
Yep. Oh yeah.
Brother. That's all I'm gonna say.
Anywhere you throw a swim jig or a small spinner bait, it's a good pretty good option to show them something a little different.
I'm intrigued.
I'll be bringing a few back.
I'm sure I'll never see them.
Dude, maybe if we go fishing together. We got the epic
June bug crankbait release a few weeks ago. I haven't seen one yet show up at my house.
I didn't even have them to send you when I sent you the freaking shaky jig worm, man.
Dude, that ain't right.
What are you trying to say?
I'm just saying something ain't right here with this relationship.
Oh wait, you started it.
You're going down to Florida.
All that free product coming into your house, and I never saw anything, man. I'm still waiting for I'm waiting for the damn tubes. I'm waiting for the tube heads. It's got to be quid pro quo, bro.
He booked this trip 2 years ago too, Travis.
Did he?
He said, "Whatever you do, don't tell Travis about this."
No, I get it. Damn. Well,
yeah, man.
Eric, listen, I'm glad you're getting, going through the motions. You got your cast on, you know what I mean?
Yeah, man.
You're in your element.
Dude, I flipped more today than I flipped in a long time.
Because it's going to go down here soon, dude.
There's no question about it.
It'll be time to head back up north, dude.
I know, man. Get my chatterbait game on, my trap game on. He got me tuned up on the chatterbait today.
He almost had to quit, man.
Yeah, man.
He said, "Dude, I'm exhausted."
Right, it was crazy. It's unbelievable, man. We had to take a break a couple times a day, man. Yeah, we sat down, had a little lunch. It's nice.
That's why we hadn't caught that double D. We've been starting at 10 every day and then taking 3 or 4 lunch breaks all day.
Dude, if you think
you probably didn't because he's throwing that big glide bait and he's doing weird shit that he shouldn't be doing.
Hey. He told me, he said, look, the lake I'm taking you today, go conventional. I'm not telling you can't go conventional. And I went conventional.
Okay.
He made 5 casts with El Raton.
The El Raton.
And the rest of the day, man, he speed wormed or he gambler burner wormed.
Gambler burner.
He flipped
a
hodgepodge of
baits
of whatever flipping bait we could come up with.
That's right.
We're running low.
And
he chattered.
All
right. Brent, what's the best brand of flipping baits that you could buy? What do you prefer?
When I'm flip, I like reaction. Like if I'm in a tournament, I'm going to be using a spicy beaver, a sweet beaver, or a bear pig. But when I'm guiding and or practicing, I'll just, as long as it's the right hue. Like he pulled out a bag today out of my boat and it says black flipping baits, green flipping baits, and there's D bombs in there, and rodents and knockoffs and bitters. Man, that bitters is really good for what we're doing. Because I mean, you can get 1,000 of them for $100 or something.
Yeah, they were. So and they're eating it.
When I went down to Florida, I stopped at, they might have a tackle store.
They do.
Near the St. John's River, perhaps.
Yeah.
They're worms. They have some worms that mimic or are very similar to like a Zoom Finesse worm.
Mm-hmm.
And it seemed like pretty close, identically, and you got a shit ton more in the bag. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
With some cool colors.
Yeah, I don't know a lot. That's Jim Bitter's brother John started that. And I don't know the history of it, but there's probably some other companies out there that aren't happy about it because they have a lot of stuff that's really identical.
Sure.
Yeah,
But
yeah. My big flipping fish came today on a love bug D-bomb.
sure did.
D-bomb, baby.
Did you tell him
D-bomb.
about it spewing eggs, man?
Dude, man.
You ever seen that,
Dude,
Travis?
What's that?
Dude, so I flipped into this reed patch, right? And I caught a male. And I flipped four or five more times back in there, and then the female literally shook the whole reed patch. And when I got her up, man, she literally was spewing eggs. It's the fattest bass that I've ever
caught
caught.
it?
Yeah.
Yeah, we have video, man. Like he was holding it in the water and he would raise it up and it was just
I've never seen that before. It's the
I've seen
fattest
it.
fish I've ever caught.
it may have been a DD when he caught it.
Yeah.
And by the time we weighed it,
Right.
it
It was 914.
oozed out. It had oozed out 2 pounds of
Yeah,
freaking rough.
I've
I
seen
think it did
smallmouth
in fact. There was
and
my
walleyes
DD.
do that, but
Dude, it was the craziest thing I've ever seen, man. Oh, tell them about your chatterbait fish you caught. Poking your rod down to get it on snag.
Yeah, man. You know how you get hung up in shallow water, you hold your line and let your rod slide down. So my rod goes down, hits the chatterbait, knocks it off, and immediately my line just takes off and I got a fight.
really,
Is that crazy?
And I'm
with
like,
your
"Hell,
rod
I
tip
didn't
right
realize
down
it
there
was
too.
done."
Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, he was hung up in a pad stem. There were that many fish that had sucked onto this corner of this flat.
Wow.
It was unreal. It is a full, it's like we're like 2% away from a full moon. It's like this wave moved up. I wish I could have seen an underwater picture. I've never fished in a school that big.
Damn.
It's unbelievable.
Tomorrow's the day.
It could be. Is it 100% tomorrow, full moon?
Yeah, let's just go with it.
You guys in your full moons.
No. See, Brent doesn't believe in the full moon, man, because he's experienced enough to know that's bogus.
Yeah, I think there's something. I'm not a big. Yeah, I agree. I'm probably in Brent's camp on that.
Yeah.
I was telling Eric, man, I'm not an expert on anything, but I've fished in a lot of the country and a lot of days, and I've just never seen it. You know, be a deal where I'm going to plan my vacation around it, like a lot of people.
Right.
Yeah. I get it. Cool. All right. Well, Brent, I know you got to get to bed. You kept up past your bedtime here. Eric, we got to keep you on for a little bit because TK's coming on. Brent, you're welcome to hang out. I'm just trying to give you an easy exit if you want to hit the hay here.
Yeah, man. When's TK coming on?
When's TK coming on?
I was assuming he was going to pop up in here pretty soon.
TK, when he coming on, man? If you're watching, he's on.
Come on, TK. Listen, before we bring TK on, let's take a quick commercial break. And this time, we're talking about a quick video I made yesterday. If you haven't seen it, tackleconcepts.com, SmallmouthCrush 10. Easy management system for your line right here.
Fantastic,
Eric, you got
man.
a few of these.
Dude, I use that the entire time I fly fished, and it made my life easier, so much easier when I was spooling, and in particular for your leader material, guys.
Yes.
You will be thanking Travis.
So the tag end.
Did you say tag?
Tag.
Tag or tag? Tag.
Tag.
Dags?
The dag end. You like
Right here.
dags?
All you do is you pull, and it comes out.
Yeah.
And it keeps it right in place. Simple.
What is
It's
that?
like very reasonable. Anglerconcepts.com. Your line's not. You don't have to use rubber bands anymore.
Yep.
I made a big video about it yesterday.
Yeah, that's cool,
It's
man.
very cool.
My old way of line management was a rubber band.
Right.
Okay.
Nice.
I mean, there it is. Even for spooling, there it is. Comes out. Angler Concepts. .com, SmallmouthCrush 10. He's probably doesn't even want me to talk about it because I got a call from him and says all I've been doing is making these stupid, whatever they're called, spool mates all day long. A true lifesaver. So there's your commercial for the night. And TK is ready to go. Let's bring him on.
Let's go, TK.
Yay!
He's just waiting for the after. Is this the official after hours yet?
Just here for the party.
Dang.
The,
Well, I mean, there's some crazy stuff going on. I mean, I see Brooks still down here below. I think he wants to come back on, man. He's ready to experience the after hours.
I had a when you announced the pre-sale, it triggered my mind, and I thought, oh, I left my pre-sale up before it was announced.
Oh,
so I didn't.
So what happened?
So I go to log on to my website, and it's like really laggy, and it's like spinning, and I was like, "What's good? Like, why is this taking so?" And I was like, "Oh shit, dude!" So like, I started getting like pings on my email, sold.
Yes.
And the whole point was that I had a discount code to get rid of the shipping, so we didn't have to like refund shipping. But there was a large volume that I'm gonna have to refund the shipping. That was
oh man.
I don't. People are fast, dude. It's amazing.
You'll figure it out, man.
Oh yeah, I'll figure it out. But I'm fixing to since Eric told me to release the hounds on the pre-sale. We're gonna see what they want.
Hey,
We are.
To the governor of Florida today, and it's official. Junebug is the new official state color for Florida. Junebug.
Nice. So we can get the special Epic Eric's Bass Lab TK creation collab, if you will. The Junebug square bill. We're taking pre-orders for that. Is that what I'm hearing right?
In a second when I get it.
Okay.
I'm doing it right now. But I can't hit the proper button because I keep getting notifications that there's website visitors. All right. But if you want to get on the pre-order, there is a code to use, and that is Bass Lab, and that will eliminate any shipping. So you'll just be on the list for the pre-order.
Can we hold those? Let's hold for maybe there's some viewers that haven't seen it. Eric, you got that? Eric has. Did you hold up the Junebug crankbait yet on this show, Eric? That's your role.
It's in my pocket in the boat. I'll be right back.
Oh, jeez. Got to get that in. We haven't missed the show where he hasn't talked about the Junebug color crankbait.
They eat it. I've seen it. I've witnessed it.
Yeah, I have too. And it's
Brent, was that the first person to bring one?
Yes. And he was showing me your cichlid, man.
Oh yeah, I did those for a shop in Miami. One stop.
Yeah, that's cool. My little cousin, he kind of dabbled in painting, but he painted me every bait I've ever caught a fish on out here. He painted me a version of it in mine cichlid, but that was a good looking bait.
Did they produce?
I'm scared. I don't want to throw them, man, because I only have one of each.
Yeah, I'll send you some to destroy.
Excellent, man. I appreciate it. Because Eric's not coming off of anything.
Nah. We did a. Come on. I got one of them unhidden, and I think there's so much traffic on the website it won't let me. All right. I think it's uploaded.
Hey Alex, I'm gonna bring you back on real quick too, because we're kind of creeping into the after hours.
Heck yeah.
What do you got going on, man?
We got a crazy going comment section tonight. I think this is probably the most excited I've seen the comments was Eric eating his steak. Everyone was just loving that.
Yeah, they love that.
Breaking it down like
I
crazy.
found it pretty annoying.
Need more of that.
Guys, don't forget to like and share.
Hey,
This is
hey Travis, you found a dude.
What?
Freaking, you told me to hang out and eat with the family.
Eric, I thought you'd be more professional. You'd be done with dinner.
You're such a dick, man.
And time management.
Dude. Now you're busting my chops. Damn, this is my week's vacation.
We are officially after hours, so anything goes here, guys, tonight. I think Epic Eric and I might get into it. What? Don't start with me, bro.
Oh man.
Oh, we had a good session before it started, man. Like 30.
Yeah, what you guys missed was the conversation between Eric and I before the live show started.
See, it still has the freaking, look at that red VMC. Little trick, man. Add a little bit more red to your June bug.
That's a sexy color if you can figure out where the camera is.
Look
Yeah,
at
there
that.
you go.
I'll take it.
Look at all that sauciness.
That is hot.
It is, man.
We did another one.
Number 4 on the back and that red VMC. It's lit.
Uh-huh.
I was digging that out of some bass this week.
Hey, dudes, I'm gonna bounce off here, man. I wanted to meet you, TK.
Yeah, Brent, it's good talking to you, man. I'm gonna get you some exotics sent down.
Okay, buddy, we'll get you some videos, man, catching them old bigs on it.
I'd like
and
to
tag
see
you, brother.
Yeah, I'd like to see what eats a little Mayan cichlid crankbait.
That would be cool.
Awesome,
Hey, by the
man.
way, Brooks is still on. Brooks, give me a thumbs up if you want to come back for the after hours real quick. Yeah, he's in.
Yeah.
He loves it.
Nice.
There we go. Now we're just missing the power pole boys. They might still be watching, but if they want to come back on, they're welcome to.
It's like the Brady Bunch.
Yeah, dude, this was good. This was a good show. We had, I'll be honest, very low views though for tonight. Man, we had about 350 at the most. Alex, what's going on with that?
I don't know if the algorithm got messed up last week since the live was really just 30 minutes or so. That might be it. But I mean, people are missing out. This is one of the better shows we've had in a while. So,
well,
man,
they'll be able to watch. They'll be able to watch. Throughout whenever.
Yeah.
We always get a lot of views the next day and the following days as well. But don't forget to like and share this if you have the ability there. YouTube, Facebook, share this around. And yes, it was a good, quick. I mean, this is the most guests we had on in one night. Okay,
Yeah, truly.
So a cram-packed deal, but I mean, good stuff all the way around.
Cool. Hey, Travis, thanks for having me again, man.
Yeah, dude.
Take it easy, guys.
See you, Brent. Thanks for coming on, man.
I'll
Enjoyed
see you
it.
in the morning, baby.
We'll get an early start tomorrow. 10.
Yeah, right.
The butt crack at 9. Y'all got it made, dude.
You don't get out there early, Eric?
I didn't even eat my salad, man. People started flaming me in the comments, man. I still got a salad over there.
Pretty
man.
unprofessional, dude.
And some bread. Oh, I got my ice cream. No, I'm not doing that again. I don't want to be the annoying guy on the stream. I've never eaten on the stream. Can't believe that. Oh, I actually had
You know who
Kind
loves
bars
to eat on the stream? Let me know in the comments. You guys know.
I've had a kind bar. Somebody reminded me that
BTC.
Ryan Salzman was really the most.
Oh, Ryan.
Yeah, he's eating those chips.
Oh my gosh! And he would make such a racket getting into his bag of chips. Remember that?
Yeah.
I mean, crunching in our ear. It was unbelievable.
Yeah. Hey, speaking of that, I just want to give a shout out to Bass University. I was on their show, was it 2 nights ago, on their live show, and we talked about tackle organization, and I really laid it out every step of the way of how I have my hard baits, my soft plastics, my rods, line, everything kind of managed. And it was a home run. I even think I got Pete Glusick ready to start getting more organized this year.
Eric, did you have a chance to tune into that?
I tuned in a little bit, man, but
Travis was going crazy. I mean, I've never seen him that fired up.
He was wound up, dude.
Yeah, someone asked him about like line management or something. He's like, "Yes, I want to talk about that." And he get into his line management. He showed the.
I think it was
line
nervous. I think it was nervous energy. You know, Travis, he's really cool and comfortable.
I wasn't nervous, bro.
Red wine.
He
You know,
was
I
on
mean, you have your White Claws and red wine. This is the first time you had to actually go and be a professional. And
Oh.
so you were kind of amped up and you had a lot of adrenaline. I mean, they say they named you Speed, TK Speed at yahoo.com, whatever your dumb email is. You know, you were named after a governor, but most people think it's because you do methamphetamine.
I know.
I don't know, dude. I mean,
I've
but
never-
you were acting like it. Your eyes were like this the whole stream. Like I watched like 10 minutes. Like, dude, you had that crazy eye look in your But it was
Yeah.
awesome. You
Dude,
did
I wouldn't
kill
know
it.
how to smoke a joint if you paid me. Okay, I don't
You
nothing
did
about
kill
it.
it, man. You did kill it, man. You did. But you had the Dracula eyes going a little bit, man.
Okay.
Yeah, you did, man.
Okay.
You
No,
did.
first of all,
Here we
No, second of all,
it depends on the night. You get me. Like tonight's a laid back night. Other nights I'm more fired up.
you were
You never
at.
know.
I really don't know what level you were at on that stream, but you know, hey,
Okay.
I've told you have to collab more, man. I'm
Yeah.
glad that BTC hooked you up, and you know, you finally started to say, hey,
Oh,
you know, it's not a bad thing when Epic Eric is on another stream, right? It's not a bad thing when SmallmouthCrush Travis, aka Travis Manson, is on another stream. It's awesome, man. It's good for the brand, bro.
It's good for the brand. I just want to make a comment. Branden Andrews, Travis does have tweaker eyes in some vids. Let me explain why. I have this yellow or this white halo light when I'm filming, and in my pupils, you can see that silhouette of the light. It's not because I'm high. It's not because I'm coked out. It's none of that. It's because of the lighting. And I've been accused on my YouTube channels, people saying,
hey, Trav,
that dude's on cocaine.
Literally, just stop talking. It's you're making it worse, bro. It's not, dude, look, you took a picture for your banner, and you have the crazy eyes in your banner. I pointed that out. That picture is like you're holding up two fish going. It's like, I don't even know what that is, man. Why? I mean, I know you like the fish, but can't you take a picture normal and not be like all crazy, man?
I get a picture about every week from BTC of him just editing some vampire teeth onto Travis's face with blood dripping out.
See, Brooks, this is the stuff we got to deal with here. You know.
See, I'll take.
I'm just glad I discovered how to work this whole thing. I was on private chat with Alex the whole time.
I know. I saw that.
I just realized there was like a comments thing, and I was just like, "Oh, I've been missing this entire show."
Oh yeah, dude. I was wondering. I'm like, man, Brooks is really like loving the private chat tonight.
Yeah, that's the only chat group. Private chat. That's how I roll. Private chat.
Hey, yeah.
I just figured that out after the show was over, but whatever.
See, I prefer Travis's crazy eyes to like the cheesy, like standard YouTube where it's like the huge fake grin where they're going.
Yeah. No, it's this one, dude.
Oh, dude,
it's
that makes me cringe every time, dude. It's like, ooh, like, that makes me want to like blow my computer up. And it has to be like outlined in some like neon.
Let's talk about it. You know what I'm sick of? I'm sick of these chicks on Instagram, man.
Oh yeah, there's God.
It's getting ridiculous.
Travis, you just need to start taking some shirtless pictures too. Fire back at them.
Dude,
really
all I'm saying is it's getting ridiculous. And that's all I'm saying. I'm just saying.
I'd like to direct the conversation back to crankbaits, if possible.
Oh yeah,
TK, isn't that why TK's here?
Oh yeah, go ahead, guys.
Oh yeah, you gotta do that part first.
I disrupted Eric's adventures in Bassland, and he took a call, and it was after hours though. He wasn't on the water, but I told him I had this brainstorm, and I was like, you know, your June bug's pretty awesome. I said, but I'd maybe like to tailor it to a little earlier in the year. And I said, I know everybody's like been crazy still about the fire crawl. I said, what if I made you a hybrid fire crawl June bug? And he was like, oh, dude, do it. So
what?
I went out there to the Tacklecraft lab. And I found some of his nail polish glitter, fired up the belly, did the same.
That's pretty nice.
Dude,
Yeah,
I think that thing's gonna get. I think it's gonna be nasty.
Mad.
Yeah, I don't know what it. Yeah, I don't know what it is with fish earlier in the year, but like, I think the glitter is like the added amount of obnoxiousness that like does something to a pre-spawn fish.
Huh.
Yeah, absolutely. I'd say that water temperature under anything 50 to like red dominates, man. It's just
like any
Mhm.
bright or really obnoxious is.
Yep.
So TK, what's your theory behind that? So I've heard like Swindle said he thinks they go crazy for those just bright colors because they've been deep so long and their eyes are more sensitive to that. Is that something you agree with?
No, I'm like, no, who knows? Like I've quit trying to I've quit trying to like be a scientist and like figure that stuff out. Because you'll never know. We'll never know. I mean, the only reason that I like got dialed into a bright pre-spawn kind of thing was I was fishing in a pond when I was like, I don't know, 12 or 13, 14. I was in a little John boat, me and my dad, and there was this dude walking down the bank, and he had a banjo minnow, and I was like, look at this joker, knowing good and well that I had like begged to get the banjo minnow kit and didn't get it, but he had a like neon chartreuse banjo minnow on, and we were close enough that we could talk to him, and he's like, right before they go on bed, you need to be throwing chartreuse. He said, it's the best color. And I was like, shut up, banjo minnow douche. And like, I was like throwing my whatever, like Bandit 100 Fire Tiger. And dude, we get like 10 yards down the bank from this guy, and he goes, oh, there he is. It was like a 7.5.
Oh my God.
And he like wrestles him up, like just pulls him up on the bank. Like no fish over 5 pounds has ever been reeled up to the bank. You got to walk back, and just drag them up. And he walked back to like the damn road and drug this thing up on the bank, and it was like, it looked like a beaver flopping around, dude. It was huge. But so after that, I was like, dude, this idiot taught me something. So after I said, maybe there's something to this. I mean, how scientific was that guy's theory?
Right.
You know.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I tell you, the inspiration for the June bug was, man, June bug is arguably, like in Florida and tannic water fisheries and pretty much anywhere, one of the best colors of worms ever made.
Sure.
So,
I mean, and that's the thing. Like back in the day, I feel like people threw more like you throw everything else black and blue. I went through a phase where I threw everything black and blue. I threw a black and blue frog, jig, like didn't matter. And I don't know. I think it's just like it's not the effectiveness of certain colors like in other baits. I think it's just getting it past the brain.
So why is that? Does it show up differently in that tannic water than those other colors? Is that why it's so effective in that specific kind of water?
I think it has to. That's the only way that's the only theory that actually makes sense is the fact that color in every lake, I think, is different. You know, regional. You're going to go to certain lakes and you're going to hear key colors that work better than others. And it's true. I think maybe it's just because more people are using that color. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
I think it all has to do with bottom and water clarity and like how colors hide in certain visibility waters of like within like the bottom, like the color of the bottom.
Yeah.
So like a green pumpkin in clear water, like against like a dark grassy bottom. I think it's the cat and mouse theory to where like the more you can like your bait kind of looks a little bit out of place, but still looks like it belongs there.
Yeah, I mean,
that's kind of like June bug. June bug's like that tannic water, and I mean it's out of place, but it's not.
Yeah. True. Yep, exactly.
Yeah, Brooks, Juice Newton on the message board. He's got your new product idea for you. He wants you to come out with some June bug braid.
We got enough colors, man.
Yeah, you do. Hey, I forgot to mention. You said there was it a copper color?
Bronze. Yeah,
bronze. What's the thought process behind that?
That was a color that was like one of the OG Cortland Master Braid colors, like even before I worked there. It's super popular with muskie guys, like 50, 65, 80, 100, 130, guys that, are pulling big stuff for muskies and trolling for muskies, but kind of transferred into the bass market now just because it's a unique color. Guys that carry a ton of different setups on their boat, just having that unique color, they're able to distinguish that, like what size pound test is on
Yeah,
that
right.
reel,
That makes sense. Yeah, dude.
That's not why it's there, but it is a neutral color, like you had talked about earlier in the show for certain applications. But bronze is definitely unique to Cortland. As far as I know, we're one of the only ones that make something like that. Again, it's super popular in the muskie market in the Midwest, but the bass guys have been getting into it more and more just because, the whole moss green, black, the bronze is just, it's easy to pick up on the boat, when
I like that theory. I'm digging it. I'm digging that. It's hard. Some guys, Buddy Ray that's on the show quite a bit, that made the stickers for Epic Eric. He makes some stickers that actually can go on your reels to let you know what size line, pound test line you have, things like that. There's always tricks. I use 1 band or 2 bands on the butt of my spinning rods to determine if that's a medium or a medium light, and then I know kind of what size line I have on it already. But it gets complicated, dude. Definitely.
Absolutely. So Brooks, kind of how we just got done talking to TK about how June bug stands out a little better in that tannic water. Is there a color of braid, maybe in Florida or just a specific region, that you've noticed in a specific watercolor it blends in a little better than the other colors? Maybe black is better in the tannic water, dark green is better up north in the clear water. You guys notice anything like that?
Yeah, I mean, I can tell just by sales, like the bronze, just because, the upper Midwest, Wisconsin, Minnesota, the water is very dark, tannic. Those guys want their braid to blend in. Personally, I would choose, a moss green or a black, but that bronze definitely seems to be the color of choice for those fisheries. And you could say the same thing about our saltwater stuff. Blue is probably by far one of our most popular colors. I'd say moss green is number 1, just because that's probably the most number 1 color, in the country and the world, just in general. You could throw that anywhere, but blue, being super popular in the inshore, offshore fishery. Yellow, obviously a little bit less, but has its place, in the drop shop, type fisheries, just seeing the angle of the line. But there's totally truth to that, in terms of water clarity and color. I mean, every angler wants their line to disappear in the water, right? So, clear fluorocarbon, they say that pink fluorocarbon disappears at certain depths, for saltwater fishing. And it's, it is what it is, man. And you think it's crazy in the bass world? Try selling fly fishing gear.
Oh my gosh!
These guys, a trout sees olive versus tan versus white versus a bonefish seeing what, and on and on and on. And we got to make a goddamn color for every. It's just you name it, but no, there is. I listen, if there's no truth behind it, whatever makes you feel comfortable and more confident as an angler, like, that's the most important thing. If you're getting bites on black or getting bites on moss green or getting bites on bronze, that's what you're going to stick with. And
absolutely, confidence thing.
I got guys that will wear a bright orange white shirt just to prove people wrong and bring a banana on the boat, and it's superstition for the most part, but there is truth, to color, water clarity, and the environment. I do totally agree with that.
How does that black braid, visibility wise, like when you have super bright conditions, am I able to see black braid on the water, or does that, like, above the water, meaning
sure,
like people using high vis? How does that black braid? I've never used black braid.
No, it depends. Is there cloud cover? Is it super clear? Is there
super high sun, bright day?
Is there a sheen on the water? Ripple versus a calm, slicked out day. It always varies. And it'll bounce back and forth. Some guys colorblind, the other guys not. It's just but black. Man, I'd say even our moss green is almost as dark as our black in some instances. And I know I've sent you both, Travis. I know that, the black stuff that we had, emailed back and forth on versus the moss green. It's like, we'll sell what other guys want to buy. We'll sell it all. But, what's moss green and black, they're both super dark. it's whatever guys can pick up on the water and what they have confidence in. And
yeah, I always found it interesting when people use a black marker on their moss green. I know Eric and I kind of got in a debate about this. Remember that a few months back, Eric?
Not really.
Okay, well, we did get into it over taking a marker and making your braid darker. And my thought was, well, if you're flipping grass, which is mostly green, why are you taking a black marker to it?
sure.
So everyone's got their own.
Because my braid was freaking ghost white like your skin tonight.
Okay.
Burn.
That's what happens when you live in the Northeast.
It wasn't even green at that point. It was like a year old and it was ghost, white. So I needed color. And I didn't have a moss green marker on the boat, bro.
Okay. Why don't you pick on Alex? Because his skin is just as bright white as mine.
Because you said we got into it, but you neglected the fact that my color wore off my power.
All right. Maybe
bro.
I need different lighting because obviously that's where.
Better braid. Hello.
Listen, TK, people want to order these baits from you. When are they going to arrive?
We're gonna. I'll probably let the pre-order run maybe through the weekend, and shut it off, and then It'll probably
get to work.
Yeah, I'll get to work. It'll probably take me a couple weeks to fill the order, but
okay,
we'll see.
Fair enough.
I'll send out a message through my mailing list and let everybody know what the. Let Eric make a post, me make a post, and just kind of try and fill everybody in on what it's looking like as far as volume goes. But we'll see.
Perfect.
Sure thing.
Yeah, it'll be. I have a braid or a line question that since we have an expert here and a bunch of fishing line junkies. Do y'all remember the Berkley Fusion back in the day?
Fusion.
It was like the precursor to like whatever that. They're like hybrid. Yeah, it was like a fire line.
Yeah.
But I heard that got discontinued because the U.S. military bought the line from Berkley. Like the technology of that line.
What did they use it for?
I don't know. Yeah, I think somebody told me they put it in their survival kits.
Interesting.
Wow. I heard that.
That's a little bit of
Brooks, any insight on that?
Anybody ever heard that?
Could be. I mean, like I said before in the show, we braid with Spectra fiber, and Spectra is a material used in, building military helmets, bulletproof vests. I mean, the stuff is bulletproof, indestructible. Obviously, what you're using is braid in terms of that fiber is a total different construction than what they would build, military helmets and bulletproof vests out of, but still at the end of the day, it's the same fiber. So that doesn't surprise me. And I mean, that's what we've been told straight from, our supplier is that, the Spectra stuff is, bulletproof and it's used in other fields other than fishing. And that doesn't surprise me at all.
I heard the same thing. Oh, go ahead.
No, it's whether it's a survival thing to catch fish if you're in the military, or if it's, a truly indestructible fiber that's for protection. Either way, no, that doesn't surprise me at all.
We need to get Ryan Salzman some of that down there. People shooting at him at those boat ramps, the Gunnersville, and all that good stuff. He needs to wrap himself up in some master braid and stay safe.
Yeah, he could run tripwires, all kinds of stuff with it.
Yeah.
There was an old timer at a tournament that I fished like years and years ago, and he swore by this stuff. And I think that was the guy that told me that, because he had like went down all these wormholes trying to like source it. Yeah. And he couldn't find it. He's like, the damn military's got it all. So,
what the heck?
There was a battery back in the day that was advertised in like Bassmasters, and it was like the Trolling Thunder. And apparently anybody that owned them had them, like they ran for like 10 years. It was a lead acid battery, and they were indestructible. Like it was terrible marketing, because I don't know anybody that owned them except for like two guys, but those two guys said they were the best batteries that they had ever owned, and supposedly that the military bought the rights to that battery technology.
Interesting.
So
Crazy.
I mean, I've heard of people running them for like 15 years and never like adding acid or water to them. They just like go.
That's crazy.
Mm-hmm. So yeah.
Technology. Well, listen, guys, I'm going to. I know Eric's got to get up early in the morning.
9
feel sorry for
Florida
me.
bass.
9 o'clock fishing time.
Yeah.
I
I'll be
guess.
up about 10
That's
tomorrow.
that's office hours.
Again, I want to thank Brooks from Cortland. I want
Brooks.
to thank the boys from Power Pole, Jason and Branden, and of course TK.
Thank you for
Brent.
having me.
Get your orders in, pre-order now, and join us next week with Nico Bates. Let's get our numbers back to where it used to be.
Yeah.
Hey,
I'm all
TK,
freaked out.
Yes.
so that little firebug color,
Yes.
is that available for pre-order as well?
I put it on there.
Oh, sweet.
Oh, dang.
Mm.
Yeah, so you got firebug and Junebug.
Yeah, I didn't.
And what about the sparkle shad?
I left it off.
Okay.
That was one and done. It might come back around, but actually,
Uh-oh.
Little pixie dust.
I had one. Hold on one second.
No, we couldn't talk about pixie dust on here.
I did a little experimenting on my own, and if anybody didn't see that one, it's just super
Pixie dusty.
It's a glitter bomb.
Yep.
And I got wild, and I was like, you know what? I bet this, if I took the same concept
Chartreuse glitter
Dang.
bomb.
and made it chartreuse, maybe
Yeah.
Dude, that's nice.
that might work on some smallmouth.
Yeah.
Oh, Travis.
Sign me up. Let's go.
So
Travis,
I'm a load Count Manson up with some
Yeah. And
chartreuse
listen,
glitter
by the way,
bombs.
guys, so TK and I talked earlier today because I sent some swim baits and a few other miscellaneous baits down to get painted. And I was on his website and I was like, dude, there's nothing left here, but you're so busy right now. Are you taking new orders? If people had 15, 20 crankbaits that they want to get custom painted by you, do they just send them to you? Is that cool?
Yeah,
Do we
I'll
direct
take
people?
them. I'll take them, but the weight right now is, it's
Yeah.
getting about a month and a half, and then
But wait a minute. There is a way to get to the front of the line with TK.
What do you got to do?
I do have certain gentlemen that will send their baits, and it's like they're like no bullshit dudes. They don't email me, they don't call, they don't do shit, dude. They send me a bag of money, cash, and their baits, and they write me a little note that says, "Here's what I want. Here's your money."
Front of the line.
They go from this corner over here, over here, instantly.
In some businesses, that's called the rush charge. In this business, it's called a gratuity.
Mhm.
Advance.
Dude,
service.
And when those boxes come in, I'm like, hell yeah, I love this dude. And then
people are asking about Bass Lab shirts and maybe a pre-order for a hoodie, because we've got a lot of requests for hoodies. Is that something that Amy would do?
Yes, we just need to know volume. There should be. There was like 11 larges, 7 extra larges, maybe 6, 2 XLs still left up on the on my website of the Bass Lab shirts, so people can grab those. Just don't use the free shipping.
All right, cool.
But
hey, what'd you think of the Dr. Frankenstein logo, man?
I thought it was great. Where's
it,
it at?
Yeah, that was nice.
Yeah, Ray Stickle's on vacation, so when he comes back, he's gonna print it up. So, Travis, did you like it? I didn't see you comment on it.
I did like it. Yes.
Oh, okay. Maybe one day you'll leave a comment on one of my posts. If I keep working harder, maybe you'll comment up.
Travis gave me a little bit of an epic Eric tongue lashing today on the phone.
What?
Yeah, I felt like he was trying to be like my my business mentor. He's like, dude, I was looking on your website. Are you even trying to do this shit, bro? He's like, you ain't got shit on there.
Website? Oh my gosh.
I'm like, not trying to do it. It's like, have you lost your mind? Like, I'm one of like 2 painters that paint full time in this fucking nation. I trying to
Sounds
do
like
it?
conversations I've had with Travis.
Yeah.
When he's up in the North Country, not talking to anybody and not doing anything, basically.
Brooks' phone just went out. He just texted me. But thank you, Brooks, for joining us.
Yes, thanks, Brooks.
No, the problem was, Tiki, I'm like, I got to get a bunch of shit painted up. I got a bunch of crankbaits here. I got ideas flowing. I got tips from the James River. I got all this stuff. And I'm like, I got to get it done. So I got my baits. I took them all in plastic bags. I took all the O-rings off and the treble hooks. I marked every bag with, DT6, DT10. I got them all here. I'm like, okay, I made a list. I sent it to TK. And then I'm like, I better follow up with a phone call. And so we talked today a little bit. And when I went on his website to get some paint schemes to look at, everything said sold out. So then when I called him, I felt bad. I'm like, so are you still in business or what are we doing here? Because there's nothing for sale on your website. He's like, well, dude, I get swim bait orders come to me. I'm busy. And so then I go, do you know how to paint a perch color? And he's like, yeah. And I was relieved. I'm like, okay, dude, good. We're on the same page. And I said, I was worried, dude.
I'm over here painting Mayan cichlids, and he's like, can you paint me a perch? Fuck out of here, dude. Come on. I've been chasing this little baggy thing for the perfect baggy, but I have this collection of 4 mil, real heavy Ziploc bags.
Yeah.
And I wanted them to hold a business card. None of these hold a business card. So I was wondering if I could maybe send those to you guys or Travis or whoever that likes organizing, that you could maybe use these for something.
I'll take them.
Because I have too much. I mean, I've probably got 1,000.
Yeah, Travis has a lot of bags. Alex, you want any? I'll split them with you.
Yeah, sounds good. We can take care of it.
Alex, will you send me your address? I got some stuff I need to send you.
Yeah, sure thing, man. Thank you.
No problem.
Absolutely. But yeah, so one other thing Travis mentioned on Bass U the other day was how he would not get one of those bags unless it was 4 millimeters. Travis, I'm sure it does, obviously, because that's why you believe it. What difference does that extra 1 to 2 millimeters make on those bags from keeping water out of it? Well,
a lot of it's the just puncture. If you have your hooks and stuff,
sure.
You would tear up a 2 millimeter bag a little bit easier than a 4. So that's why I suggest a 4.
Okay.
4s are the hardest to find. 2's the easiest to find.
Yep.
But 6 millimeter would be even better probably. But every brand's different. If you get in cold temperatures and you got a shitty bag that's 4 millimeters or 6 and it freezes or it's cold out and you open it up, it's going to splice down the line.
Right down the side, yeah.
Yeah.
So have you found a brand that's more reliable, Travis?
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
Nah, dude, it's so inconsistent. You might find one year and then go back 6 months to reorder and you can't find it. It's a search on Uline, Amazon, eBay.
Wow.
It's a constant search for these stupid freaking bags.
Dang.
I'd agree.
Yeah. Travis, have you ever tried using a worm binder? So basically, you have those big bags and little bags in it. That's what I do. I mean, I thought you might be into that. You can get a lot in those.
You can. The holes always tear in those worm bags.
Yeah, sure. Mm-hmm.
Oh, look at this one.
There's a lot of things we could do. I have a lot of ideas.
A lot.
That's the second time you said that.
You remember these pieces of junk?
I had one of those.
Oh, yeah. What was wrong with those?
They suck, dude. They had these little little Ziplocs in them.
Well, the Z-Man bag had that too. They had something similar.
And you didn't like it.
My bags get dirty. When I get some dirt on my bags, I get pissed and I don't like to use them.
Huh.
Yeah.
This is a funny story about this bag. I went into a tackle store that sold some used stuff, and this was a used bag of spinners, and I opened it up, and it was nothing but titanium man's classic spinner bags, and I think it was 40 of them.
What?
Wow.
I sold them all for $25 a piece.
Wow.
Dude, I paid $20 and made what's the math on that? 25 plus 40.
A lot, yeah. 80.
That's a grand.
That's crazy.
Oof, that's
That was
a good return on investment.
That was a good flip.
Yeah.
Kind of like your haul, your pork haul, man.
That's the best that will ever be found.
Ever. No one will ever compete. Where'd Travis go to clean his worm binders?
I think he got offended, that nobody liked his bag joke, so he had to get some more White Claw or something, get some more wine.
Did you go to clean your bags, Travis?
Yeah, maybe.
Eric,
Hey.
did you go buy bitters, or have
Not
you not
yet.
had time?
Not yet.
They're legit, dude.
Yeah,
Hey,
that's
listen,
what's
Dave
up?
Mercer's commenting on the post, and when Dave Mercer comments, that you got to say something, Dave. Come on, man.
Heck
The
yeah.
big lady. Come on, Dave.
So, speaking of Dave
bag
Mercer, we
lady.
got the man on here, Travis. I know you have proclaimed you don't watch professional fishing at all, but did you see what happened down on the Tennessee River today?
Yeah, Jeff caught him up, dude.
Yeah.
Damn.
Jeff who?
Gussie.
Oh, Gussie.
One thing that I thought was crazy is Chris Zaldane was like 100 yards from him, and he zeroed. Unless I checked the leaderboard at the wrong time, but from what I saw, he zeroed.
Yeah,
And-
I saw an Instagram post. Chris Zaldane was laid out in front of a fireplace, wondering what to do tomorrow.
Wow.
I mean,
Wow. That's craziness.
I'm
man.
sure he caught some, but they have an 18-inch limit on the smallmouth,
Sure.
so that's
Yeah,
that's a big smallmouth up there.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You think
tell
that's
you-
one? Yeah, go ahead.
No, I just think it's awesome that Gussie's leading. I mean, Gussie's been he's a fan favorite. He's just one of those nice all-around guys. And he's always positive, he's always approachable, and he's been that way for years. So good for him. Hopefully he's got to be excited, dude. If you got what has he got 2-3 pound lead?
Yeah, it's about 2 or 3. Yeah,
I'd take that any day.
Heck yeah, man.
absolutely.
Uh-huh.
Might have to get him back on the podcast. Talk about that if you can pull
That'd
this
be
one out.
awesome.
Yeah, listen, by the way, about these podcasts, I got about 12 more to go.
To record.
Alex.
You got
Yeah.
one next week with
uh,
Bob.
We got
That-
Baba Zumi.
The guy that
next-
canceled on us, I think he bailed. He hasn't emailed me back.
yeah.
So he might be out. But yeah, I like the idea of trying to get tournament winners on. I know that they're going to get bombarded and everything with interview requests and stuff, but I think that's going to be really cool,
for
after
smallmouth waters, the top.
Yes,
like
yes,
if someone
yes.
wins a big smallmouth event, maybe have them on. You know what? The theme is the top smallmouth anglers in North America. Just because you win a smallmouth event, it doesn't
Sure.
automatically qualify you for a smallmouth, top smallmouth angler of all times.
I agree with
So
you.
I don't know about that. The lists we generated truly are what most would consider the best smallmouth anglers across the country.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
so I want to stick to that theme.
Okay.
But we have to close out a few of these guys. There's some guys we just cannot get a hold of for the life of us.
Either that or they won't answer. Or
I don't know.
we got
They don't
And I
wanna
know
give up
people
the
are
ghost,
busy.
man.
we got
Yeah.
a lot more time.
We
to
may
figure it
have to
out.
follow up in the fall. Like Paul Mueller. I think he's a decent
Yes.
smallmouth guy. I
Yes.
need to get him on the show. We've been texting back and forth, but now he's doing his thing.
Yeah. I
So
mean,
we
even
may
like-
have to wait till
Yeah.
October, November to wrap it up. I have enough shows in the pipeline to go till July or August right now, straight. And then I have guys set up throughout the year. But damn, that's a big ass cat, bro.
Yeah, he got a little fat over the winter. We're getting him on a diet.
You better.
But yeah, I mean, we just had him in here, Dave Mercer. We're gonna get him on. He's gonna be the last one of the year. Give a nice little recap of everything that kind of
Did he
went on. So-
confirm this?
No, but he was on your side of the list. You said you were gonna get him and figure that one out.
Well, I
so
said I could get
figured
him.
it was.
Don't worry. I'd like
Yeah.
Dave to get on episode 53, although Dave's a great smallmouth angler. But I
Yeah.
wanted my goal was to have him on the last podcast because he's been around these guys and he sees what truly is a great smallmouth angler. So I'd love to hear his perspective when it comes to that. So I'd like to have him, Dave, if you're still watching, I'd like to have you on the show to close out the season of the top smallmouth bass anglers in the country for sure. From your
Travis, would you consider letting someone interview yourself for the podcast because you're clearly in that top 50?
No,
Would you
I
want to
don't
do?
think I am, bro. I'm not going to go there.
Travis, interview yourself as Dracula.
That'd be pretty funny.
I'd watch that.
By the way, Alex, I know you kind of moonlight a little bit and do a couple different interns for different companies, but I see Bass University hooked you up with some merchandise, huh?
They sure did. Yeah, I got a nice little package in the mail today. Started working with them. I initially started talking to them a couple months ago, but they had a lot of stuff going on at the time. But yeah, I'm in with them now. I do a lot
I
of.
see how it is. What I think really what happened was you talked with, let's see, you probably sent out about 30 different applications to guys to be an intern for them. I'm
2 for 2. I'm shooting. I have a real life internship this summer too. You know, like towards a real world job. So I'm 3 for 3 on my last internship interviews. I've shot the ball pretty well. So hopefully I can keep that up and turn them into real jobs eventually. But I mean, yeah, working with BU is great. I do a lot with BTC and Riz. Riz is awesome to work with. He does. I think he does a lot more over there than people really realize. But
BTC's working super hard. We should get him on.
I'm sure he's watching. He's always on. But yeah, it's been great working with those guys, and definitely, I think the best has been the free BU membership I got. You can learn a lot.
Minoru Waller in the comments here goes, "Hey Travis, you should get Justin Kerr from the West Coast on. So can you take note of Justin Kerr? I know nothing about the guy."
Yep, I actually reached out to him a couple months ago. What's his name? Josh Bertrand mentioned that we should reach out to him, and I did, and just he never got back to me. I know he's fishing the Classic this year, so I'll have to circle back and hit him up a third time. And I mean, I've noticed this too. So like on Instagram, if someone that you don't follow or you don't know like sends you a message, and that's how I do most of it when these guys don't have a website, it's rather hard to go in there and see that unless you're kind of looking for it. So I think a lot of these guys just aren't even seeing them in the first place. I mean, you have to know what you're looking for to find that message, and it stinks, especially when they don't have a website, if they even do respond to their website. But I'm hoping that a couple of those guys start to open those up and we can get them on.
Yeah, and I was thinking actually moving forward because season 1's the top smallmouth anglers, and I don't want to just stop the podcast because I do want to keep it going. I say Epic Eric and myself, maybe we do. I mean, if I can convince Eric to do a little weekly talk, something fishing related, maybe season 2 could be all about. Like, can you think of 52 crankbaits, Eric, to talk about, or no? Yeah?
5,200?
It's like just 52.
Just only 52?
We could do a whole year's worth of crankbait talk.
I could do a whole decade of crankbait talk.
All right, that might be bigger than this SmallmouthCrush top anglers.
And totally, we do it with TK, man, for sure, man. I got to get he's a crankhead. He's a crankhead. We weave in some peoples.
All right. I guess you volunteered.
That would be awesome.
I don't know. I have to. We'll talk.
You have to look. Yeah.
Yeah, that'd definitely be good, though. I mean, 52 cranks. Maybe you could even get the creators of those guys on there. Get like a Marty Burns. Get some bait designers. People would love that.
I think it would be popular.
There you go.
No question about it.
Yeah.
No question about it. There's
something about TK being on here, Travis. You just come up whenever he's on. We get the best ideas of how to do stuff. And
TK, I like TK. We all love TK.
He's awesome, man. Got the ideas flowing.
You've been trying to do this, bro.
Only 52.
Is Brent Anderson still up in your?
He's sleeping.
I saw him walk through with a buff on his head. One of Travis's buffs on his head.
He did.
I'd like to pick his brain if he has a preference over Junebug Red to Junebug.
Good question. I love a Junebug Red. I don't know why. I mean, listen, when the Berkley scientist talks, I listen because they're all about, studying bass, and I think they've got the largest number of bass that they test scent and flavor and visual appeal and the reaction to different shapes and baits, and do they have memory, And he's been on a couple bass ewes, and in shallow water, and I can't remember what the cutoff in his book was shallow. So let's just say for this conversation, 6 foot or less, where I fish probably 80% of my life, right? You know, dirt dobbing in team tournaments with Scooter. Today I was fishing 1.5 to 3 foot to 4 foot. The shell beds have been, 2.5 to 3.5 foot, sometimes down to 4. Red is the most visible color to a bass.
I'm not insane on like
I don't think it matters.
color stuff, but for whatever reason I've seen red flake and June bug outproduce regular June bug.
Yep. So
more than not, like, to be a coincidence.
Yeah. You're a crankbait painter, and you see all the colors that people want, and I think a couple things come into play, right? Confidence, for sure.
Yeah.
Because if you believe in a bait, you're going to throw it and pay attention more. If you don't believe in that bait you have on your rod, and we've all been there, right? Somebody else has got some bait that's a color, and it might be a depth or a speed thing, right? Or a cadence thing. But I agree, man. I think June bug red, especially on tidal waters, it's got that little extra something.
Mm-hmm.
So I hope you order June bug red for the Chickahominy and James River tournament, Travis.
So you gotta do it now.
Listen, yeah. If you saw my, I'm really impressed with my Lake Chickamauga tournament prep.
Yeah, good.
It's been very good. I'd like to go through that with you as well, Eric. I'm actually going to be heading down there here at the end of the mid next month. We're going to spend a few days down there. I invited you, Eric, to come along for the ride. I would like to hit some of the Tennessee rivers as well, do a little smallmouth fishing while we're there exploring Chickamauga. I think Alex Rudd and I are going to try to get out there and do a little filming. I haven't confirmed that with him, but that'll be a pretty cool experience. Just a quick little trip down there, getting ready for that Ray Scott Championship.
Heck yeah, man.
I just sent a message to Brian the Carpenter, see if he's still up for the after. Eric wants to go to bed.
Nah, dude.
Come on, bro.
Let's
get fired up, man. Let's do this.
Yeah, like horseshit. You're tired from ripping too many bass today for too many days consecutive. That's horseshit.
Dude, I'll be up. You know me, I'm a night wolf, man. I don't go to bed early.
You ain't got to wake up till 10 a.m. to go fishing.
Right?
You'll be all right.
This is my time, man.
Honestly, I wish there was another 2 months of winter.
Why?
For prep work, to get ready, to make YouTube thumbnails for the live shows.
What?
I mean, there's a lot going on, dude. There's a lot.
No, I can appreciate that.
Yeah.
But no, I don't wish there was 2 more months of winter.
Yeah. Only Travis would ask for that. But yeah, it'll certainly be busy for everyone coming up, but I think we got a good little system rolling.
Oh, I think you do.
I don't foresee any missed shows. I don't foresee any missed videos. So I think we'll keep the content rolling.
Hey, Brooks just texted me, by the way, and gave me a killer invite. If you're ever bored and have a day or so, come up and go steelhead fishing with me.
Man.
Yeah.
If you're ever bored.
Yeah. Brooks don't know. I got a little steelhead salmon-ness in me, inside me. TK, you ever catch a fucking salmon down in Alabama? No.
Nah.
No.
You ever catch a tuna up there, bruh?
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
I went out with Adrian Avena a few times out in the Atlantic. I know what tuna's all about. Yellowfin, bluefin, big eye.
Did y'all eat it on the boat?
Shit. Yeah, we had sushi.
That's good.
TK.
Yo. Is that the Magnum?
Dude, I caught many fish on this. That's the Magnum chatter.
Did it
it crushed them.
Really?
I hand tied the skirt and I used this gambler eel. It is so sexy in the water. It thumps so damn hard and they eat it.
I bet Mr. Anderson wanted some of those for his ledge fishing on K Lake.
Yeah. Yeah, we're gonna need to talk a little bit. I need a few more.
I keep finding those blades in like random spots. Like I found a jacket from like 10 years ago, and I stuck my hand in the pocket and I found an old chatterbait blade that was like 3 inches in diameter.
So TK, so the first 2 fish that bit this were gars. And then I caught the big, and then I caught many more on it. And I actually said, you know what? I'm not risking the biscuit. I don't want to fish it anymore.
Why?
If I threw this today, I don't even know what would have happened.
I think you should have wrangled the gar.
Dude, I mean, the gar had it straight in his nose, man.
I heard gar tastes good.
I don't know about that, man. They're really pretty down here.
No, I'm serious, dude. You got to see these like
you can't clean a gar.
You can. Would you have to use like a hatchet?
I landed a gar on the shaky jig worm, man, to get it back. The black and blue one, the bruiser.
If there's anybody in the chat from Louisiana, they can confirm.
Cool.
Hey, Travis, check this out. So I cranked through this one hole, and I scored on the big crank, man. I lost one that was TK. I couldn't stop this fish, man. Then I caught like a 6'9". On this crankbait, and I proceeded to catch many more. So it's like the big fish ate first, and the school stopped firing on cranks. So I picked up my shaky jig worm, went back to work, caught a big on that, and caught a lot more fish. I lost the blue to a gar, and then I put the purple on, did the same thing again, and I only brought 3 down to Florida with, because I'm like, I don't really want a shaky head in Florida, you know what I mean?
Right.
And so this is the last one. It's a green pumpkin. So I said, you know what? They'll just eat a June bug trick worm. Dude, I could not get a bite.
So here we go. 10 snips. They taste great. Dude.
He don't know shit.
You clean gar?
He ain't cleaning gar. Nobody's clean gar, TK.
I'm telling you, this is not a farce. I did not make this up tonight.
You're saying gar are good?
Yes.
Ain't clean a gar. You can't even you'd have to wear one of those steel gloves with like one of them freaking Bubba knives that are like 18 inches long by 4 inches. And then I've tried to fillet a gar before for some reason in my mind.
You have not.
I have, dude. I've filleted every fish there is.
What?
What?
For real?
You filleted a shad with your mouth pretty good. You think you could try that on a gar?
Oh, dude, that was crazy.
You know what? What's worse than that was when with Ryan Salzman down on Pickwick, and I took a bite in that lamprey. Don't ever bite into a lamprey. It tastes like a gardener snake.
How would you know?
Because it smelled and tasted like a gardener snake.
I'm still confused. You know what a gardener snake tastes like?
I know what it smells like, and the smell tasted like the taste smelled like a taste. You know what I'm saying, bro?
I do.
Nope.
How did the sturgeon season go?
So I sat out with my dad for about an hour, 50 minutes. I said, we're good. My buddy Steve speared one on Saturday while I was hanging out with my dad. He was up on the upper lakes, and he knows what to do. So, and not that he watches the show, so I don't care. I'm going to give you guys a tip. If you're trying to locate where sturgeon are, what these guys are doing, the hardcore guys, because I told my dad, I'm like, how do you know where to put your shack? Like, do you put any research in? How are you trying to find out where's the best spot to set up for sturgeon? Because if it was me, I'd be for weeks, I would be doing what these guys are doing. So what they do is they take a 360, they drop it down, and then they look for the blowholes from the sturgeon that are eating the redworms in the dirt. And so they look like little craters, almost like bluegill beds, if you will. And so that's how they search for sturgeon activity, is with 360. And Steve did his work. He spent weeks out there with his 360 looking for these blowholes, and a 140-pound sturgeon came in 5 feet of water under his freaking shack opening day at 9 o'clock in the morning.
Wow.
And he stuck that bitch, and he put it on a sled and proceeded to take it to the bar.
That's crazy.
Why did he have to take it to the bar with him?
Because that's just what you do when you spear a 140-pound sturgeon.
Yeah, it's a dick swinging contest, dude.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
What else you gonna do with it? Speaking of, I heard they almost taste as good as Gar does.
You gotta smoke them, from what I'm told.
Interesting.
I'm sure there's a million different ways you could fry them up. Is that? I mean, what do they do with them? Do they eat them? They just mount them?
I think you gotta smoke them.
Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't realize
that fish that Steve decided to kill was probably, I'm guessing, I'm not a fucking biologist, but 90 years old or older.
I mean,
so do you want to eat your 90-year-old grandma? No, I mean, honestly.
Oh, you want to smoke her ass?
No, I don't want nothing to do with anything over 60. 61, give or take.
I mean, yeah, that makes sense. I mean, what you'd say a 6-pound smallmouth on the Great Lakes is 10 years old about?
Yeah, let them charter boats out of Henderson, clean them up. Put them in the cooler, boys.
I was proud of you, Travis. You got into it with that a little bit on BU, but you didn't go too crazy. You kept it PG for them.
The one that you need to see is Casey Smith from upstate New York was on the podcast.
Yeah.
I'm not sure when he comes out, but we got into a little bit about some of the devastation that's being taken place on Lake Ontario. I'm not going to keep talking about. There's nothing I can do. Maybe awareness, you know.
Yeah. Well, one thing that I never heard you mention was you talked about all the fish had those red spots on them. Is that? I mean, I'd like to hear from anyone in the chat. I mean, someone was mentioning it to me on their stream. What is that from? I mean, what is that?
There's 6 guys that fish on Lake Ontario. So nobody's going to, they don't know. Like, honestly, I mean that in a respectful way. I don't see people fishing out there.
Yeah.
In areas that I fish.
Sure.
So I don't know if people are experiencing the red blotches all up and down the St. Lawrence that I've seen, but it's scary what's happening.
I mean, it could just be a trend in the fishery. I mean, every lake has its upswings and downswings. Do you think that could be?
It's interesting. A lot of the people that we have on the podcast, they talk about that, the ups and downs of fisheries. And I guess I don't want to accept it. I hope that's not the case, but it could be. There could be some issues here on Lake Ontario and the St. Lawrence River in the next couple of years.
Yeah, sure. I mean, they just went through a big boom. I mean, the last couple of years, everyone started pounding them up there. I mean,
yeah. Well, Brad's on the chat tonight, and he goes, he fishes pretty hard. He says, yes, they are up and down the entire river.
Wow.
So
the northern lakes up there will get better because everybody's going to start going to Florida, where Eric's at, and to Choke Canyon in Texas.
Is Choke the next big thing?
Yeah.
There's always those trophy lakes they have in Texas or Florida that someone catches a big fish there and everyone flocks there. I mean, I saw a bunch of pictures today. The 6th Sense guys were, I mean, they caught like
so Milliken, I guess, wrecked
a
huge bag the other day. I'll be interested to watch that and find out. But.
Do you think that could be because those, I mean, they probably had ice on those lakes, and those fish have more than likely never seen that in their life. Do you think
they didn't have ice on those lakes, bro?
Some of them did, yeah.
What? Some skim ice for a day or two? Alex, you don't know ice, bro. You ain't driving your Ford F-150 on it.
Oh, shoot.
You know what I mean?
Travis, you pull the truck out there on the ice. Wow. I could do it.
Oh, yeah, I drove out there. There's highways out there, dude.
I'd be too scared to do it.
Hey, by the way, Brooks is back in the house. He can't get enough of this. Bro, you drinking tonight or what? What are you drinking? Iced tea?
Everything's clear tonight.
Okay.
Interesting.
Unlike my man Eric over there, I saw some brown going on.
Now he's iced tea.
Some of that.
I don't even know what he's doing. He's preparing for tomorrow. Dude, I'm totally into a steelhead adventure.
Yeah, I think you're gonna enjoy it. I know it's not bass fishing, but
no, dude, I love it. I've done it quite a bit back in Wisconsin.
Same deal, man.
Can I use a spinning rod over a fly rod?
Oh yeah,
Okay.
Can you drop some?
That's usually what I roll with for trip. I actually started my own little gig last year. I was bringing out so many people for, shits and giggles.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm going to start my own little thing and bring people fishing, and turn it. I can only do it on the weekends, man. I'm fishing with Cortland all the time, but
Mm-hmm.
the steelhead fishing. I have a trip this Saturday with a guy that's fly fishing, but normally, this time of the year, yeah, I'll run spin gear. I run float setups. It's kind of a cool way to fish. It's very effective, and I don't know, I love it. But yeah, no, the offer is up to you, man.
Yeah, I'm in. So let's pick a time. Let's do it. I'm definitely committed. I've believe it or not, I've fished every creek from Oswego up to Thousand Islands on that eastern shoreline of Lake Ontario.
I'm sure you have. Yeah, I mean, they're like I said. I mean, before my battery died. I mean, my wife and kids are sleeping, so I'm trying to sort of quiet here in the house.
Right.
That Salmon River fishery, the estuary, and the actual river, super unbelievably productive for bass fishing. The estuary's almost a mile long, and it's very wide. It's very diverse in terms of weed cover, lily pad, name it. And long before I knew anything about how to bass fish, my buddies and I, we would go there and just absolutely, smoke fish, and we didn't even know what we were doing. So I think it'd be a good quick show for you on the way to whatever fishery you're going to. But
Well, we got to do this in the next month, right? Now's the time.
I mean, here's the deal: the amount of snowpack that we get up here in upstate New York is tremendous. So that's all about to start melting here, and the river pulses big time. And once that happens, we get the last little push of steelhead, and whatever's in the river starts to kind of move out. But they get very hungry after they spawn, and it's super productive. It's a lot of fun. It gets a high fish count, and you're talking fish that are 9, 10, 12 pounds.
Yeah. How many can you catch in a day?
If you
a good day,
a good day, using spin gear, I mean, you're gonna land, maybe 6, 7 fish. You're gonna hook, 10, maybe a dozen.
Oh wow.
It's like anything else. It's you have good water conditions and bad water conditions, but I mean, you're talking about 8 to 12 pound fish in very fast, heavy current. It's cool, man. It really is. It's a busy river. It's a busy river. It keeps the town busy. It keeps the town, going economically. But I mean, for you, I know you've done it a little bit, but it's unique. And as far as the smallmouth fishing goes on the Salmon River in Pulaski, New York, it's cool, man. You guys would like it.
Well, so between now and the next 3 weeks, I'm pretty flexible. So if you see a window, just let me know. I can be up in the morning. Not a problem.
Yeah, that's great. Like I said, I got a trip this weekend. We'll see how it goes. And after this snowmelt hits, then that river goes from 300 cubic feet per second to 2,500, or who knows. Everything changes, but we'll make it happen.
Yeah. Eric, what you got there?
I'm just walking around, man. Getting ready.
So, Brooks, I'm steelhead ignorant. Could you just give me a quick rundown of, how you even go about targeting those fish? I mean, what's some techniques? Are you weighted? Are you in a boat? How does that work?
So you can wade, which I'll do this weekend. My guy wants to fly fish, so you'll wade fish. Boat fishing is obviously more popular. It's a little easier on the client.
Yeah.
It's more productive, because you can get the spots a lot quicker. But the biggest thing is, as far as what you're going to throw, number one is those fish are dropping eggs because they're there to spawn. So that's your number one, targeted bait or artificial bait is either beads or egg sacs.
Okay.
And those fish, they key in on beads, they key in on egg sacs. You know, they will hit crankbaits, they will hit spinners coming off post spawn. They get super aggressive and very hungry before they go back to the lake. So, you know, around April, once those fish are post spawn, you got, you know, 4 things. You got egg sacs, you got fake beads, you know, that look like eggs, crankbaits and spinners. I think beads and egg sacs are definitely number 1 on a dead drift presentation. But you know, you can back troll plugs, and you can throw spinners. You know, your average, you could probably throw a bass spinner in there at certain times in April and smoke fish. Absolutely crush fish.
Isn't the pink worm a deal?
You can throw pink worms. You can do a wacky rig on a pink worm.
Yeah, Eric, if I get the invite, would you want to go up and do a little steelhead fishing, dude? Would you make a day trip up north?
That might be fun, man.
Because I remember I got you on the Salmon River last year on the way up.
Yeah.
And I said I was going to throw some waders in, and you were like, "No, I'm good, bro." So I'm a little like, what's your thoughts here?
Look, I've trout fished, man. I mean, I know what wading's about.
Yeah, we won't put you in like a weird situation.
No, man. I mean, you know, me and you and Brooks will talk offline. We'll have a little conference call.
Yeah, we can do that. I work with the guys. It's called the Tailwater Lodge. It's in Pulaski, New York. It's a brand new lodge. It's It's a part of the Hilton Resort Registry. It's the place is spectacular. I mean, you want to talk about 5-star accommodations. The place is incredible. But anyways, we can set you up with some waiters. Put you in a boat if you need to. But
I got waiters, but
yeah,
Eric
we can do everything on foot. We'll make Eric wet wait. Actually, you know, that'll be good for him.
Let me ask you this: so,
the ice
bring
pack
up
on the old knees would be good.
So, Pulaski, New York, in Wisconsin, near the Fox Cities where I grew up, we have a town called Pulaski, Pulaski, the same way it's spelled in New York, but in Wisconsin we call it Pulaski. You call it Pulaski, is that correct? I call
it Pulaski, and you know what? I got family that lives in Pulaski, Virginia, right off Interstate 81. And oh yeah, and it's funny because I'm in Pulaski, New York, right off Interstate 81.
That's so weird.
You know, it's like everything. What's your accent? Where you come from?
I gotcha. So if I call it Pulaski, because that's what I'm used to,
I'll let it roll. I'll let it roll.
And by the way, Sean,
but I'll let it roll.
Okay. And by the way, Sean, your comment, LOL, Travis got waders. Yeah, right. Sean, I got freaking waders. I was a duck hunting king. I used to shoot ducks like nobody's business. I would wade in marshes and swamps, and I would have my neoprene waders, 5 millimeters. And then I got my steelhead salmon waders, you know, come on.
Don't get the max
5 millimeters. That's one.
I'm a waders guy. Dude, I've bought dozens of waders in my life. Sean, tell me I've got waders.
He's a redneck, Sean.
I am a redneck.
Redneck.
In normal.
That lives in a townhouse in Pennsylvania.
Yes.
Don't worry, Travis. I got dead deer and coyote pelts hanging from my house right now.
There you go.
Yeah,
I fit right in.
Hey, Brooks. So, I did a little bone fishing down in the Bahamas and the Grand Bahamas, and had a pretty good experience, right? So I don't remember the company, but they came out with a clear fly line called Monarch. You ever remember that?
Yeah, Monarch is its own company. We actually reinvented the clear fly line.
They didn't do a good job. It cracked completely.
Yeah, so Cortland sells a clear fly line called the Liquid Crystal right now.
I love it.
And
so I had the idea that I was going to take my 8-weight Monarch, it was a Sage 8-weight. I had Monarch on it, and I'd fished it in the salt. And I'm pretty good about cleaning my fly line, but I might not have cleaned it. Okay, so I spent like 3 weeks tying these massive 6 to 8 inch articulating streamers in brown trout and rainbow trout using saltwater material. So me and my buddy Andy Sheehan, we go up to the north branch of the Potomac River, which the record brown trout was 18 pounds, 3 ounces in Maryland, in Western Maryland. That's a massive brown trout.
Yep.
So
in a stream,
right?
a stream brown trout is 18
yep.
pounds.
Not a stream. It's a river. It's pretty wide. It's pretty swift. There's some, you know, it's like any river you'd see, maybe 50 to 75 yards wide at any given point, sometimes skinnier. So there's a fly fishing only section, and there obviously there's hatchery fish and there are natives in it. Okay, it's a tailwater fishery.
Correct.
So it's foggy. We don't get up to Western Maryland. Me and my buddy Andy Sheehan having to crawl up this mountain like 10 miles an hour. You can't see anything. Finally, the sun breaks through about 9:30, so I'm late. All right, but I said, you know what? I'm doing this. So, you know, put the waders on, get in the stream. There's a section of stream. It's a channel. It's a river bend, basically. Big giant boulders, hydraulics, you know, and I know there are big fish here. So I take that first. I have a brown trout a streamer, literally lay it in right behind these two giant boulders. I'm telling you, a double digit brown or rainbow. I don't even. I could see the silhouette. My fly lands like right behind in the eddy, and it's kind of floating sexy because, you know, it's got all that tail feather material and it's articulated with 2 hooks on it. And this giant trout just kind of raises up like a submarine, looks at it, and goes straight back down. I had that happen, I don't know, 5 or 6 times that day. Massive fish, man. Massive fish. It was not a successful day.
The Potomac and the Savage River in Western Maryland.
Yeah, you know these streams.
Oh yeah, I have fly shops in that area, and
oh wow, yeah, I know.
They do a lot of business in there, but trout are finicky, you know. Same thing with pressured bass and late season bass. They're stingy.
You know,
no doubt.
I think all types of fishing, you know, whether it's musky fishing, trout, bass, walleye, perch, bluegill, crappies, I think it's all enjoyable and fun. But we seem to always, isn't it crazy how we all kind of get into our different species and we just enjoy targeting those fish? But Eric, I think it's so cool that I didn't know this about you as far as your trout days and stuff.
Yeah, man.
Do you ever get the urge, like nowadays, to do it again?
It's funny, man. I got into it heavy for like 10 years. I tied flies, and I loved creating my own patterns, you know, and one of the ones I'm most proud of is that, you know, when you tie flies, you see the world very differently. You look for material everywhere, like presents, wrapping, the bow material, shiny.
Joanne fabrics.
Everything. I mean, everything is fair game. So, you know, the things that you put under carpets so they don't slip, like the little the rubberized material. Yeah. Okay. Everybody's seen that. So I looked at this and I'm like, man, certain segments of those, and they make all those foam anti-slip things for, you know, in your cabinets, for your dishes, different shapes and sizes. And I'm like, man, that make a great ant body. Brooks, I tied up so many ant bodies out of it, and they ate them. I got my buddy like I don't know. It was a pretty big brook trout in the stream, Catoctin Mountain, you know, where they have the presidential Camp David, and this is a super gin clear, skinny water. They are tough to catch, and man, it was a wet ant, you know, so it wasn't a floater because I coated it with Sally Hansen nail polish, and it had just enough to. And I tied, you know, little crystal flash for legs, and they just couldn't get enough of it, man. And nothing more gratifying. I don't know if you tie your own flies, but nothing more gratifying than tying a fly.
I only tie my own flies.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah, but it's funny, like you know, I sell a lot of fly fishing products, and then when I got into selling, you know, braid for inshore, offshore stuff for saltwater, all the guys I was selling to, all they wanted to do was fly fish. And I'm like, well, all I want to do is kind of bait fish. They're like, what are you talking about? I'm like, I'm kind of over fly fishing. I'm like, we just bait fish for like a big striper or like a tuna or something? So yeah, I get in these conversations, you know, like tonight in bass fishing, which it's not my forte, you know, fly fishing is, and a lot of guys, you know, it's always opposite. But anyways, yeah, if you know, for you, Eric, you know, if you ever find yourself up here, you know, Oneida Lake and, you know, Lake Champlain or the Finger Lakes or St. Lawrence, man, there's I live in Syracuse, New York, and there's some killer trout fishing right here.
That's crazy.
You know, the upper Delaware system, I know there's some really
I
good.
fished it.
Yeah, there you go. I mean, I know Iconelli does some crazy bass fishing, you know, on the mid Delaware system, you know, above Philadelphia and whatnot.
Yeah.
But it's awesome. Upstate New York and Travis, you know this. It's the same as Pennsylvania.
It's incredible.
It's
Well,
whatever,
it's not the same. It doesn't have don't even get me started.
Don't.
As far as fish, no. There's trout streams, yes.
There are.
Our trout here in
dude, Pennsylvania has some of the most storied waters
they
on
eat
the
corn.
planet.
They eat
You don't
corn,
know anything
Eric.
about trout fishing if
They
you're,
eat
if you're
corn.
throwing shade on Pennsylvania.
Yeah, but
you don't know anything.
Those are stock fish, Travis.
Yes,
like
I know.
You
Ridley
try
Creek
feeding a wild
cornfish.
fish. You try feeding a wild fish corn, you're not going to get a bite. But.
I hope not. I'm sick of
Dude,
using
Spring
corn.
Creek, I mean, some of the most fabled waters, and they are tough.
Listen, from now on, I'm all about Mad River Outfitters flies and Flyweaver handmade flies.
So Brooks. So
Mad River's legit. They're in Columbus, Ohio.
Okay.
I use the Mad River steelhead worms for shaky head fishing.
Oh.
I paired it up with my shaky head jig. It was a flat-bodied worm, and it was super high float, man. No salt, you know.
Maybe Brooks can help me out. So I wanted to get a fly box, and I bought this on Amazon, but it's way too small. I want to put my bass flies I think will work, but I want to store my torpedoes in it too.
You bought the wrong box.
I know.
That box looks empty regardless.
I know.
But,
Yeah.
Hey, Travis, can you cut out a section of foam to accommodate?
I thought about that. I might. Yeah. Because here's the deal, guys, and Eric and I have talked about this. I think there's an application for all these flies. Now, these are dry flies, or I'm sorry, some wet flies too, because I'm thinking about that insect hatch and chucking on a spinning rod. So I didn't want to even show this on, but you know, it's late at night. We don't have as many people watching. I'm going to show I bought some like 1/64 ounce black marabou flies. Like, you know how bass guys will fish like a 1/16, 3/32, 1/8 marabou? I bought some super small ones that I think I can throw on the back of that torpedo with a 2 or 3 foot leader and swim it just below the surface. And I think I might do some serious damage on it. What do you think, Eric?
I think you need to just bite the bullet and put a fly rod on the boat, Trev.
Can you imagine that?
I've seen it done. Travis, why not like an ultralight spinning rod or a light action spinning rod?
You wouldn't get those. You wouldn't be able to get those little flies out there. You need the weight to move it.
Yeah.
Eric knows. Eric, are you a fly rod guy? Could you still cast a fly rod?
100%, dude. I can double, and I might be able to pull off a triple haul.
Well, a fun fact in I guess I was a sophomore. My sophomore year, in speech class, we had to give speeches. So I went out in the football field to give my speech. It was an outdoor speech about
is that
fly
the closest
fishing.
you've ever been to a football field?
Yes, about fly fishing. And I fly fished on the football field in Winnie County, Wisconsin, as my speech, my sophomore year in speech class.
I think that's
how
awesome.
to fly fish.
I mean, honestly, fly fishing is super technical, man. It's a beautiful sport. There's a lot to it. I mean, just like in bass fishing, you're out in nature. I mean, you're in the water. You know, if you're tying your own stuff, it's like, you know, TK being able to paint his own crankbait and go out and catch something on it. Or, you know, TK makes more than crankbaits, by the way.
Absolutely.
But it's,
Right,
you know,
though.
a lure crafter, somebody that is a do-it-yourselfer. When you get to that level, pouring your own plastics, you know, that's what I think makes all any type of fishing incredibly special. And you don't have to make your own baits to make it special, man. I love buying other people's baits as much and seeing how they work and trying to find something different. That's the magic for me, right? Or in part. But no, fly fishing's fantastic, man. I literally, I was deep into it, dude. And I mean, I was really, really, really lucky to be able to do some of the saltwater fly fishing that I did. I landed, I could have had an IGFA world record if my guide would have signed for the card, but he didn't want to in the Bahamas. Brooks, it was a 14-pound, 4-ounce bonefish on the Del Brown measurement scale. Took me about, I don't know, it seemed like it was a 40-minute fight, but it probably was only like 15. You know, it was an 8-weight fly rod, and I was with Charlie Nemore out of the Andros Island Bonefish Club, and we were with a couple of guys. The president of the company and founder of the company had gotten very wealthy through the IPO, and he bought 2 jets. He had a beach jet at first, and then a Challenger, and we would fly to the Bahamas. And I had to pinch myself, like, what am I doing here? Like, I'm not this guy, you know, but I got to go along because I love the fish.
How long ago was that?
So I worked for Registry Renaissance, let's see, in 93. So right before the crash of 2001. So it would have been 99, 98 is when I was going on these trips.
There's a famous bonefish guide, and he has flies called the Crazy Charlie.
That's just Charlie. That's Charlie Nemore, I think.
Then
I fished with him. Yeah, Simon Bain, Charlie Nemore. I mean, they would tell stories about how they would find material. Like somebody's dog had this beautiful white, you know, for one of the flies, like a creamy underbelly.
I'd like to see a video of this, Eric.
No,
you got any video of you fly fishing?
I have pictures.
No.
So you'll love this bass story application to saltwater flats fishing. So we would always have a tournament down there who could catch the most bonefish in the biggest. So I obviously won the biggest that year with a 14.4. And on a 9.9 tippet, which was truly an IGFA world record, he would not sign my card. And you know why? He didn't want people that were world
to come down
record
there?
Chasers to come down and book him because he didn't like people like that. They press him too hard. He was always busy. He didn't need their, you know, he's like, man.
Sounds like a prick. Sign the damn card for Epic Eric and let him get a little freaking.
He probably wanted to do numbers.
I offered him money.
He probably wanted to do numbers in bonefish and didn't care about the biggest. And just you know.
He didn't mind. He didn't mind chasing a big bone. He just didn't want any hassle from people trying to get a world record. Anyway, so the next day we go out and I'm with Rudy. Rudy has sunglasses that are so scratched from like trying to clean them. I don't think he can see anything. And I'm like, you know, he's helping me find fish, right? Because he's up top on the poling platform. He's using a stick, first of all, to pole. And I thought that was pretty cool. But it was cloudy. And this is during March Madness. And we're in Andros Islands. And you can't see anything. And I'm like, man. So I caught a bonefish. I was hung up in some turtle grass. And I'm like, that fly was just sitting there. And I was yanking on it a little bit, like jiggling it. So I'm like, let me see. So I cast out, you know, I stripped a little bit and laid a cast in there where I caught that last one. And I started just letting it sit there. And I was jiggling it. I caught 10 bonefish in a row, jiggling it, counting to 10 between little shakes and movements of the fly. We came back in for lunch and I told that story. The other guides and Drew Conway, who owned the company, they were cracking up. Galasso, you've lost your. I'm like, yeah, dude, it was like worm fishing for bass for a bonefish. And I said, you got to count to 10. So they laughed at me. They didn't believe it. I said, ask Rudy, man, ask Rudy. So they go back out. We all split up. And as soon as Drew and the other guy that were laughing at me stopped, Drew made his first cast. Literally, they both started to count to 10 when the fly hit the water. 1, 2, 3, trying to do it and duplicate it and catch anything.
Eric, what's your PB bass on a fly?
I don't think I've ever fly fished for bass.
Yeah.
Really?
No, I never brought it. I only trout fished, saltwater fished. I caught a 44 and a half inch rockfish. That was the record in the Strippers Cup. And it's not what you think, stripping as in like stripping fly line. They had a cup each year that we would go out on Martha's Vineyard. Again, this is the guy who had the company and he had a couple of houses out there. and we would take all the people who like to fly fish, and there'd be a competition. And I won it 3 out of 5 years. And honestly, it's probably because I sharpened my hooks constantly. I mean, you know, in Lobsterville Beach, where we would start our competition, the beach had a steep angle. And when you would do your back cast, I would see people like spark their flies off the rock. My buddy missed like 10 rockfish in a row. And I'm like, dude, let me see your fly. His hook point was like this.
So what'd you use? Just a file?
Yeah. Or I would tie my own fly. So
can we talk about that real quick?
Yeah. Like a ceramic hook cone.
What is the best hook sharpener out there on the market? Any viewers?
The ceramic ones are pretty good.
I tell you what, there's a company in the fly industry called Loon Outdoors, Loon.
Write that down.
And I use a hook sharpener from them for my streamer flies for big brown trout. Like all I do is chase big wild trophy browns, and I'll send you some pictures, Travis, and you'll be blown away. These are inland stream trout, you know, they're not lake run fish. And I sharpen my hooks with that. It's a small, maybe 4-inch long by like, you know, an 1/8 inch wide filing, you know, tool. And man,
does it have like grooves in it?
It has a groove on one side, it's flat on the other. So depending on like what you're trying to sharpen.
Because I think you can have the best hook sharpener and not know how to sharpen hooks properly.
It's the same thing with a knife. If you
right?
don't sharpen,
I know. I messed up a lot of knives, bro.
Yeah.
I buy the highest, most expensive steak knives in the world, and in 1 month they're dull, and I don't know how to sharpen these damn things, and it pisses me off.
I've sharpened a lot wrong way and tried to gut and cut up deer, and it doesn't work that well.
YouTube, man.
I tried, dude. They're all gimmicks, dude. I went to the Harrisburg Sports Show and bought this knife sharpener from this dude that was chopping shit up, and dude, it didn't work.
Travis, there's a lot of
Brooks,
people. There's just a lot of people chime in on the message board, Travis. They want to know how you sharpen your teeth every day.
I just bite that line. I can take that Cortland 50-pound braid right now and cut it in half with my tooth.
Impossible.
See it.
Impossible.
Dude, you don't want to do this.
Don't test me.
I think we do.
The first ever iCast show that I worked at in Las Vegas, Buck Knives came over to our booth and tried to film some type of like line nipper knife thing, and they tried to cut through our braid. They did it 3 times and it never worked. And I like Buck Knives. I'll start a conversation with that. It didn't work, and the guy goes, "Let's cut that," and they walked away.
Travis, don't do it, dude. You need to save this for like a Bassmaster Classic Expo where you get a booth. That was
50, bro. That was 50 right
there. Do it again.
Should we go for 65?
You want me to do it again?
You got the scissors down there. I see
you prick. I didn't want to attempt it with my tooth.
Brooks, is that sharpener that you use, is it ceramic?
I believe so. It's definitely coarse on both sides of it.
Wow.
You could make anything sharp with this thing. And those guys make really good products, and like again, I have no affiliation with them. Cortland doesn't. These guys make really good stuff for fly fishing, but you can sharpen anything with this tool. It's a pretty good tool. And you know what? The fact that it can stick in your pocket in your shirt.
Yeah.
Not bulky. You know, I've used stuff from, you know, other brands that I've bought at stores to sharpen hooks, and it's very, you know, it's very small and it's easy to put away in your toolbox.
No, my the one I have is like it's purple. It's hanging in the bass lab at my house. But man, that was my secret to success is people like my strike to catch ratio. What do you got, TK?
What is that?
Stone. It's a stone.
A stone.
Oh,
nice.
What kind of redneck are you, dude? What is this?
Because I don't care. I'm a redneck that doesn't carry a jackknife.
That has dull knives.
Okay. I'm sorry. Brooks, you're right. I tried my tooth with the 50 and I couldn't do it.
Yeah, I know. It didn't work out for Buck Knives. I felt bad for him.
Are you kidding me? They couldn't cut it.
That was like 7 years ago, and I was just like, wow, Buck Knives. I love Buck Knives. You know, I'm a big bow hunter here in upstate New York, and when they showed up to the booth, I'm like, man, this is our ticket. Cortland Line's ticket. Buck Knives, Cortland Braid. Well, they never aired that. I'll put it that way.
I think of all hooks, I think the bronze, like standard round bend Gamakatsu gets sharper. Like you can sharpen it sharper than any hook.
Yeah, it's pretty ridiculous.
Yeah, I was always concerned about that because when I buy sharpeners, you know, I almost feel like you should just get rid of that hook and put a new one on.
Agree.
Then try to save it. But there's some baits where, you know, for instance, I mean, here's a cool example. You know, those little rooster tails. You know, you can't get those hooks off of there without special tools, and the hooks that they come with suck. But rooster tail is a very efficient way to catch smallmouth, believe it or not. Eric and I have demonstrated that before.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
But their hooks are terrible.
Yeah.
And so I can see there's certain applications when a hook sharpener would probably benefit me.
I mean, honestly, if you're fun fishing, you know, to burn a 50-cent Gamakatsu hook, I mean, come on, man, just sharpen it. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Yeah.
If you got a little burr on it, you know, I'm not saying if the point's bent, but if you've got a burr, you just like you've been grinding rocks. Like when I was grinding these shell beds, I mean, I could wear out a couple pair of trebles, you know, in a day, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you know, I'm trying to catch a DD down here, so I'm changing hooks out. But if I was just fun fishing and there wasn't money on the line, I'm not going to burn, you know, brand new treble hooks to do that. Not to say that you can get your PB anytime, but certainly having a file if you're on a budget it's an economical way to stretch your money.
Eric, where in Florida are you now?
So Vero Beach area. What? I started out at the Harris Chain of Lakes with a buddy of mine, Bill Kramer, that I've known for a long time, and he has a trailer down there in like Umatilla, Florida, and we fished Lake Griffin and went to Rodman, and it was a lot of fun, man. I'd never fished Griffin, so it was a new experience. I'd never been on Rodman. These are part of some of the lakes I've been reading about since I've been a kid. So it was really
what was the water level of Rodman?
Rodman was high.
Was it?
Yeah, man. You could move around.
Did you launch kind of the launch that's like off it looks like just from the bank?
100%. No. This was an actual ramp.
Oh, actual ramp.
But they showed a couple competitors fishing down that canal, which was pretty cool. And there were spawners. There were beds everywhere, and some of them could have been tilapia beds.
Is there still some of that real thick green, matted up? I don't know what they call it down there. You know what I'm talking about.
There's hyacinth.
Hyacinth, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there's so many different types of grasses down here, man. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's everywhere.
I miss fishing Florida, dude.
Yeah, man. The ticket for me was I used the General, by the way, the max scent, and that was getting the better bites. The pattern was the fish were on the outer edge of the pads because it was post spawn, nothing on the bank worthy. I caught them on the Boy Howdy Gold Chrome Orange Bell. It's an old school bait, still works effectively, and those are the two baits that I used: little top water and a max scent. But you had to have a very light weight on your Senko, 1/8 ounce. Anything faster fault, rate of fault, they ignored.
Put a little nail in the back, dude.
No, I just did it Texas. Yeah.
Travis, speaking of ounces, I'm a little bit dense, and I was going to see if you could talk to the people at Z-Man and see if they could quit putting.
I agree. I know where you're going.
1/10, 1/6, 1/5. What
dude,
is this?
I have no idea what it is. I don't even know.
Third?
Like, I don't know.
Like, I just grab shit off the shelf. It's like I just get all these because I don't know what they weigh. Maybe it's like a marketing thing.
I think it is. I'm getting used to it. You know, a 1/5 is going to be similar to a 1/8, a little less.
Yeah, just put fucking 1/8 though. That's what we know what it is.
I know. Agreed.
Yeah.
Agreed. All right. Well, we were supposed to wrap this show up about an hour ago. We still got 200 people listening to us for some reason, rambling on. Where do we go from here?
I'm going to bed. I got to get up at 9.
Gotta get up at 9.
Plus I'm keeping the boys up.
I'll give a shout out to my wife tonight for coming home from the hospital at 7:30 so I could do a live show tonight, putting the kids to bed.
Then
So
we would have been
nice.
flexible. We're flexible here, man.
she probably earned a lot of brownie points with that she's going to burn at a later date.
Right?
So
yeah. No, Brooks, thank you again. You've been you are a wealth of information when it comes to fishing line and braid and trout fishing. Now we get to go steelhead fishing, Eric.
Dude, man, steelhead is
I want to do it. Yeah.
Have you ever caught the Skamanias up there?
Yeah.
The crazy ones?
Well, on Lake Michigan, we troll for them offshore back in.
No, I'm talking about stream Skamanias.
Not in the streams. I've never have. No.
What's the hardest fighting salmonoid, Brooks?
I mean,
steelhead by far. I'd say.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, between a steelhead and a smallmouth, pound for pound, they're equal.
So, so there's a whole subculture of chromie steelhead nuts, right? I mean, it's like.
Do you know Frank Scalish, who's been on the show?
Yeah.
He's a steelhead nut. Big time.
Know of him.
Yeah. Big time. Like he'll mess you up steelhead fishing.
So there was a really cool article I read about TK. This will be of interest to you in the whole discussion around color theory. And I think I'm going to say the doctor's name wrong. He was an eye ophthalmologist. Dr. I think it was Kiriyama, and he did a study on a steelhead or salmon eye, one of those, a salmonoid eye, on what, in terms of the actual technical structure of the eye, and what color combinations would stand out most to those fish based upon their eye structure. That's why, like, iconic color combinations for salmon, like black and purple, and other ones, and I can't remember the ones that were really popular, but it seemed, and then he came up with his own theories based on how their eyes were structured on what would be most visible to them. Pretty cool.
It is.
I wonder if anybody's ever done that on bass except for Berkley with the red thing. I mean, Berkley, if you guys believe in like looking at the sales of Berkley products, because power bait's super, super, super popular. I think like June bugs up there, red shad.
Eric, we can't even get 1/8 put on a package. You think they're testing eyeballs over there?
They got 30,000 bass that they study every year, and they have to make it in the European metric system for your shrooms heads. Like, what is it? A whole subculture of Ned heads that they said, well, no, you have to make them in the 1/6 ounce. What does that eat? I try to go through the calculations. Like when I buy Japanese lures, I have this little yellow sticky by my computer, and I'm trying to do the calculation. Am I buying that crazy chatterbait? Is that 3/8 ounce or half or a quarter? I have screwed it up sometimes, man. And then centimeters, millimeters.
I kind of like the millimeter and the grams. Yeah.
Dude, I can never keep it straight. 14 grams is...
What is it, like a half ounce?
I think that's a half ounce. I don't
Pretty
know.
close.
Think?
I don't know.
What
All
do you
right,
think,
listen, everybody that's stuck with us for this
crazy
8, 9, 10, 4-hour live
Alec.
stream.
Yeah.
You're rocking the
never-
bass. You're rocking the bass.
I
deal.
already-
What's weird is that you're not wearing a SmallmouthCrush sweatshirt. Oh, that's
pretty
right.
messed up.
You don't have one.
I tell you what, though, I got a buff, and I actually really like this thing. I didn't even have to pay for it. It was awesome. I wear it all the time.
Just shipping.
Nice.
Yeah, just the shipping.
Hey, Travis, it's really weird to me that you still haven't commented on one of my, you tagged yourself in one of my Florida posts.
Yep.
And I actually wore your SmallmouthCrush down here.
I saw that. Looked
And
good.
I was just hoping maybe you would
I didn't see
recognize that. But at the end of the day, you really do suck because you haven't commented on me wearing your SmallmouthCrush hat down here.
And that's one of the things I want to get better at on social media is commenting and replying to people. I'll get back to everybody eventually.
Eric replies
There's
to
really only
everyone.
one person that counts right now, and that's your co-host. If you don't comment this week, I'm out
Okay.
the rest of the season, and they better be good.
We have a couple big shows coming
Hey,
up.
Travis, did you hear that? I'm gonna stand by my promise. I'm gonna make a promise right now. If I don't get a nice comment from you this week on one of my posts, I'm out for the season.
Fine.
And
you're gonna get a good.
you can catch me on all of the other streams.
You're gonna get a good. Yeah.
You heard me, right?
I heard you.
Yeah, I have.
Listen,
offers.
guys. Next week at 8:00 Thursdays, Nico Bates. Then we have Michael Simonton coming on.
Nico Bates and Travis, and maybe Epic Eric official.
March 22nd, we got longtime follower of the channel, Cuda, Mike Murphy coming on talking
Cuda
jig fishing. I don't know what he's talking about. Patreon Lipless, Austin Neary, Falks Custom, Hair Jigs, Beast Coast, Dem Jigs. Big lineup.
That Beast Coast show is going to be the debut of your little project, correct?
Yeah, if you don't piss me off, I'll pull the plug on this whole jig thing soon.
I heard you pre-ordered Eric a bunch of them and sent them to your house, and that you sized them correctly. They're going to be 8.
All I need is a Smallmouth Crush approved sticker on that damn package with my social media contacts, Derek.
Is that too much to ask?
Apparently it was.
Apparently it's too much to ask Travis to comment on his co-host post one time. And then when he does, he tags himself. It's just, you're a curious being, dude. That's all I got to say, man.
Yeah.
You're curious.
Yeah. Hellabass EE's not going anywhere, Broheem. So the passive aggressive ain't working at night. Bro,
You think? You want to tempt me?
Straight up.
Eric, should we go on Hellabass show sometime?
It's a battle of wills, man. In fact, if you don't comment on every post I make for the rest of the year, you miss one, I'm out.
Oh, jeez.
I'm laying it down.
You're going to fucking detention.
I'm gonna have to hack into Travis's Instagram and start commenting so we don't lose Eric.
Oh, and I'll sniff it out if it's you, man, because Travis. I mean,
it's gonna be all emojis.
No, it's got to be words. And
Eric,
good ones.
I'm not going to post on every post you make. I'm not going to comment on every post you make.
Well, Travis and everybody tonight, I've really enjoyed you.
Jeez.
I love you all. I've been waiting for this moment, actually. Listen,
He's out.
I'll come back on occasionally for you, but, I'm pretty much out then.
You know what, dude? That's bullshit. Eric?
I've laid it down, bro.
I'm not going to post all your stuff.
Okay, then.
No, dude, what you're doing right now is messed up, bro.
Dude, if you don't have 2 seconds to comment on my posts,
listen,
then there's a problem with our
relationship. You can take your little 4.5 pound bass that you catch. All right, I'm gonna end this thing right now. Screw you, bro. We're done.